What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Movie Myths and Monsters. We're back again. We got a nice show for you. We are going to be what?
What's up? I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm testing. I'm testing some new stuff.
Got new material. Oh my god. It's never ending. I'm Jax.
All
this
right.
is Brian. And
we got it. We got it.
Yeah, of course we got it.
Yeah.
We are going to be, for your viewing pleasure, dismantling this thread right here. You'll see this.
Yeah, some of you may have seen this over the last, I don't know, what is it, several days?
Yeah, everybody was a little bit unhappy about this, and you know, as they say, a lie goes flying around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. So it took us a few days to get the pants on.
We got them zipped up though.
If you're gonna do something, you got to do it properly. Yep. So we had to source and make notes and search for things, and now we're gonna engage a flamethrower. So how's that sound?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So something that's pretty funny, I think, is that people like this, you know, they make this big thread and then they like wall themselves off, right? So nobody can reply to the thread.
The echo chamber.
Yeah, and then they block you before they reply or quote tweet you. Like she blocked me and then she quote tweeted my tweet about
I was blocked before I could even see it. Someone sent it to me and they're like, "Have you seen this?" Yeah. And I was like, I can't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. So
I think that's really funny and just really goes, I mean, it's like cowardice. They're just scared, right? Like, what do you're scared because you know that you've done something and or said something that's totally incorrect.
Correct. And they even made a comment saying like, everyone's telling me I'm lying or I'm wrong, but no one's coming at me with anything. You're literally just, you know, blocking everyone out.
Yeah, so, I mean, you've blocked the whole of Twitter. Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, they swear it's misinformation, but won't say what it is. Well, thanks for the invite. We're here to tell you what it is.
Yeah, I don't want boomer ass memes. Okay. Boomer,
I don't think this. I'm pretty sure this.
That hurts my feelings.
I'm pretty sure this is not why you turned off the replies.
I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Just saying. Just saying.
Like, I like the traction this is getting, and I don't want it to be debunked.
Yeah. I don't want anybody messing with my thread. Well, it's getting messed with anyhow. So, shall we begin?
Let's.
Okay. So first thread here, since we're all feminists again, can we revisit the Depp Heard case? I mean, I don't know that we ever stopped visiting it over the last 2.5 months, but Lord of mercy. Here's a thread of the most damning evidence against Johnny, most of which was suppressed or ignored by social media. This is a long one. Major warning for graphic and disturbing content. I find this to be absolutely hilarious because most damning evidence.
Most damning. Yeah, if this is the most damning to follow, then there's no question or no doubt as to why she lost this case.
Correct. I mean, first half this thread is like hearsay, 3/4 of the thread is hearsay. There's also some things that are just blatantly wrong. So that's fun.
Jax.
Yes.
You should sign up for Twitter.
Oh, I know, right? I should get a Twitter account.
Yeah. You've got stuff to say.
I do. So the first one is, of course, the stupid Paul Bettany text. But one of my favorite things she does in this thread, she just makes these like declarative statements. It's like, this is that.
Where it's like, it's not, but whatever you say.
And like, not even close. Not even close.
Very.
Johnny said texts about wanting to assault and drown and burn and smack around the defendant before they even got married. Ah, God, Lord help me. So here's all the texts.
So here they are.
Yeah. So
we're 2 minutes in. We're exhausted.
I'm just exhausted. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. Ta-da! all the texts all together. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's burn the defendant. Here's Paul. Having thought it through, I don't think we should burn her. She's delightful company and easy on the eye. Plus, I'm not sure she's a witch. We could, of course, try the English course of action in these predicaments. We do a drowning test. Thoughts? I have a pool. Johnny. Let's drown her before we burn her. I'll fuck her corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead. Paul. My thoughts entirely. Let's be certain before we pronounce her a witch. Okay.
Okay. Again, text Amber didn't even know existed until
2020.
Until 2020. So not even these didn't even exist in her eyes. She never even knew they existed until 4 years after the relationship ended.
The funny thing to me is that they make everything so incredibly literal. Right? You have to take this in the most literal fashion you possibly can to make it into anything other than what it clearly is, which is just nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to like make anything serious about it, I mean, Johnny and Paul later on, there are conversations with them, especially after the incident in Australia. They're texting each other and Johnny says he lost his finger and Paul's like, wait, what happened? And then he goes, oh wait, maybe this is not for text. And I assume there's a phone call that follows.
Sure.
It's very much awareness about what's going on here. But these texts are sent in, I think it's June of 2013. You know what else happens in 2013? Johnny tells Isaac that Amber's smacking him.
Yeah, she likes to hit.
Yeah.
Uses those words. She likes to hit.
Yeah. So, you know.
Isaac, one of Johnny's best friends and neighbor for a very long time, lived in the same building and same floor, penthouse floor, and he tells him she likes to hit. He figured that out very early in the relationship.
Yeah, and he was also the best witness of the trial.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
But I mean, here's this just for fun. So I mean, here it is in Isaac's witness statement. Within the first year in 2013, living at the Eastern, Mr. Depp one day knocked on my door to visit. I opened the door to let him in and said, "Hey, look at this. This is nice. Coming over to visit. Boom, boom, ha.
Boom, boom, ha ha.
Bada boom." He smiled, but I noticed he also seemed down and a bit distraught, like if he was crying. I said, "Dude, come in, sit down. What's up?" Well, sat down. He started telling me about his relationship with Miss Hearn. He said, "I don't know what to do. She likes to argue. She likes to hit." I said, "What do you mean, sexually?" Smiles and no. She just wants to argue about stuff all the time, and then she'll start hitting me. I was kind of surprised when he said this. I asked, almost disbelieving me, "You mean like playful hitting or hitting?" He said, "Yeah, she argues, then she'll just start punching me and wants to fight. I'll try to stop her, but she just keeps going to the point where I just stop trying to stop her. Say, okay, go ahead, do your worst, get it out of your system." All right, so this is all 2013.
2013.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if there's any amount of like something that you want to take out of the text with Paul, it's most likely to be anger and this sort of gallows humor that Johnny exhibits all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I mean, maybe he's not talking to Paul yet about what's really happening. And there, this is sort of his way of saying, trying to air it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's very much a venting in only the way he knows how, kind of venting.
Yeah.
About a woman who is straight up beating the crap out of him to a point that he feels so defeated he just lets her. He's like, I try to stop her, I can't, so I just let her. I'm like, fine, get it out of your system. Like that's so now he feels powerless to stop her, so he's gonna vent.
Yeah, and I mean, the text from Paul, the replies from Paul are not shown that often, and I think that's pretty unfair because it really is showing the joke. Not Correct. That it even matters. I mean, people pearl clutching over all these texts. It's just pearl clutching.
Yeah, because when you see it laid out in a conversation like that, it really is like, yeah, they're joking. It's Monty Python. It's burn the witch. Do we burn the witch or do we drown the witch?
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly.
The other ones don't matter either. None of them were sent to Amber, and
no,
Like, it's just pearl clutching over words when everybody says things about other people. Everybody talks shit.
Hmm.
Okay. If you don't like Johnny's way of talking shit, well, sorry, you don't have to be friends with him, you know? So
Yeah.
that's it. Like, that's it. So moving on.
It's already worked up.
Just meh.
Nah.
Bunch of nonsense. Nonsense. Oh, this is so funny too. This audio confirms that Johnny headbutted Amber.
Uh, sure it does.
I
Sure
mean,
it
it
does.
does, but nobody said he did it. Like, yeah.
No one's. Yeah, it's this. He testified to this in the UK and in Virginia that
Yes, he did.
that in December of 2015, when when right around the time Amber found out that she was going to be taking all the heat for the dog smuggling thing in Australia, literally day of, she starts fighting with him and starts mauling his face.
Yeah.
And he testifies that like he wrapped her up and that their heads bumped, and she tried, when their heads bumped, like she's wiggling around like a little gremlin, and like so then their heads bump, and she takes that as like, oh my god, like look, everything I was doing to you before this is null and void. Our head, like we just bumped heads because you were trying to stop me from mauling you. Why can't you just let me maul you like I used to? She even, remember when she says that too? You used
Yes,
to let
I
you,
do.
you used to let me fight. You used to let me, and then she stops herself from like admitting that you used to let me beat the crap out of you, and now he's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
wrap. Now he's like wrapping her up, and their heads bump, and she takes that as like our heads bumped, and I'm gonna milk this. How dare you? How dare you try to stop me from beating you? That's when she tried to like go on with the whole thing. Continue.
The whole thing. I mean, here's the testimony from the UK. Collision was head to
Yep.
head, forehead to forehead, maybe side of the head to the forehead. There was even a moment where she says, I cannot believe, in another tape, can't believe you headbutted me. He knows, like, okay,
Yeah.
I said I headbutted you in the forehead. How does that break your nose? I used the word headbutt because that is how she referred to it. The
Yep.
collision was up here, indicated she said that I broke her nose. I don't see how that could break a nose. Obviously, it didn't. And the other great thing about this thread that Camilla has put together is that she does not reference any of Amber's claims,
No.
which, just leaves everything open for interpretation to the uneducated, which
So she can
is
just tell you what stuff means without
right.
actually showing you what it means.
So, you want to have some fun? Here's the claims of this incident. Okay.
Oh god.
I mean, come on, man. Come on. You know,
Oh, the
eh,
worst and most violent nights of our relationship.
slap me, grab me by the hair, dragging me by the hair through the apartment. P.S. She left this out in Virginia, all around the different rooms. Got free, ran up the stairs, grabbed me by the hair again, hit me in the back of my head, dragged me by my hair up the last few steps, shoved me a couple times, making me afraid I would lose my balance and fall down the stairs. Had to get him to stop. Told him that he broke my wrist. Oh, God. Knocked me to the
Jesus.
floor. I mean, good God, trying to square off with me. Think you're so tough. Took a step. The last time that I got up, okay, here's your headbutt. Here's your
Here we go.
headbutt by Amber, okay? He took a step back from me and then headbutted me, hitting me right in the nose with his forehead. I staggered back, completely stunned, instantly felt searing pain. My ears teared up, my nose started bleeding. He left me holding my face, bleeding and crying. I thought I would have to go to the hospital. Okay. Turned to walk away from him, came up and pushed me again, grabbed me by the hair like earlier, pulled me by the hair some more, from room to room, dragged me in the upstairs office, managed to get free from him, told him again that was it, I had enough, grabbed me by my throat, pushed me to the floor, hit me in the back of the head, grabbed me by my hair, slapped me in the face, screamed and swore at me, dragging me all over the carpet. Ugh, come on, man. pushed me onto the bed, pushing me face down into the mattress, smothering me, and pulling out more hair. I was suffocating, trying to scream. His whole weight was on me, put his knee in my back, his other foot on the bed frame. He was punching me in the head. The bed frame splintered. No, it didn't.
God.
I don't remember anything after that until Rocky came in saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." So you lost consciousness? Lost consciousness and then go to the hospital?
Apparently. Lost
Right.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Woke up when Rocky came in. Rocky woke her up.
Rocky woke her up.
We've seen the pictures of the bed. I keep pointing this out. She says that she was instantly bleeding, her face covered in everything just covered in blood, and he was pushing her face into the mattress, and there's not a drop of blood on that mattress, but he was like just mashing her face. It should have been like just a
Not a
Play-Doh
drop.
imprint. Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
no blood on the mattress.
Here's Amber the next day. Recording show. Okay.
Less than 24 hours later.
Less than 24 hours later. Okay. We've all seen this 1,000
Yeah, we've
times.
all seen this 1,000 times.
But
no
you know,
no broken nose, no swelling, nothing.
Nothing. But for the sake of
But
completion.
Amber, who has the histrionics that we know she has, they bumped heads, and she tried to act like, how dare he? Yeah, she tried to turn that in. She tried to really guilt him for having anything to do with defending himself.
Right. You know, for the sake of completion. Here's what Amber said on the stand in London. I had bruised ribs, bruises all over my body, bruises on my forearms from trying to defend the blows, 2 black eyes, a broken nose, a broken lip, bruises primarily. Bad ones were in my hairline, my scalp, and my chin. Sure, Jen. Okay.
Sure, Jen.
I'm just tired of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Next tweet.
Do we want to show the marketplace stuff?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's pop that up real quick.
So,
not only next day did she appear on the James Corden show, but within 5 days, she was
when
out
everything
in public. Yeah.
should have looked really bad.
Yeah, like a few days later, everything should have looked really messed up.
Yeah.
And she's actually out in public and is photographed out in public.
Yeah, she goes to the farmers market.
Yeah, so if you go to the shot after that real quick.
Sure.
You can see down at the bottom it says December 21st, 2015, and it says just another beautiful Sunday. The description. So you see Amber and Raquel there. And so this actually would have been December 20th when this picture was taken, because that was Sunday of that week in 2015 in December. So then you go back up to the next one, you can see Amber's exactly the same, like everything's the same. The hat, the glasses, the bangle or whatever, the ring, the nails, everything is the same.
Everything.
And there is no broken nose, no busted lip, nothing. This is 5 days later. 5 days. Yeah. Her healing powers are just beyond Weapon X.
Oh goodness.
Trying to cast the next Wolverine.
I know.
Got our gal. Test her blood.
We got her.
Don't test her blood.
Let's not. So, yeah, headbutt. Super. I mean, we'll get to some more stuff that really reinforces what Johnny said there about that was the word that she used. There's a lot of talk about placating. There's a lot of talk about saying whatever it is that she wants you to say.
Yep.
That comes up quite a bit, and it did in Virginia as well.
Correct.
So the next tweet is Johnny's biggest accusation against Amber is that she cut his finger off. But here he is on tape in a private conversation saying, "I'm talking about Australia, the day that I chopped my finger off." Well, let's have a listen.
Times you came to different places to say, let's stop.
I don't know which fight you're talking about. I don't know.
I'm talking about Australia, the day that I
Now we're
chopped
talking
my
about
finger.
Australia. Okay. Yes. I tried a million times. Yes.
7 times you came.
Okay.
This is a very, I mean, how many times? I mean, just how many times? This is a common turn of phrase. I broke my arm. I broke my foot. Okay. I'm bringing you other evidence right now.
I broke my leg playing basketball 6 years ago. I didn't break my leg. Some other dude did, but I say I broke my leg.
Right.
Like that's how I say it.
Of course.
It doesn't mean I just grabbed it and just snapped it or shut in a car door on purpose or anything like that. Like, no, another guy landed on me and broke my leg.
Right.
But I say I broke my leg.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. So here's a few things. First of all,
First and foremost.
first and foremost, number one. So something about the UK trial versus the trial in Virginia is that hearsay is very much allowed.
Oh yeah.
So you didn't hear a lot of these things in the Virginia trial because it's somebody told me, right? So this is Malcolm Connolly's testimony from London, who is one of Johnny's bodyguards. So this is Sasha Wass, who is the barrister for NGN. Your statement that you made 5 years after this event says this, that you did not get Mr. Depp out of the house easily, but you eventually did. And you said, I had the car door open where we were outside. Johnny said word to the effect of, look at my finger. She's cut my fucking finger off. She smashed my hand with a vodka bottle. And you saw that finger was a mess. He also told you that she had put a cigarette out on his cheek and you could see the mark on his face. Malcolm, yes. Okay, she's trying to get him to say it's not true. But that's what he said.
Yeah.
And then they talk about, when they went to the hospital, they were discussing what they were going to say, so that they, in lieu of saying Amber smashed his finger off.
Correct.
So that's that part. And we have more.
We also have a text, I think somewhere.
So we have Dr. Kipper in Australia with Debbie Lloyd. Okay, this is from the Australian audio, which, by the way, this audio was also used in the UK trial. It did not come in Virginia because it's hearsay, but this audio was authenticated and used in the London trial. And also pieces of it were played in Virginia, specifically the beginning of it.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. This is guilt.
Okay.
She won't take 50. I gave her 25 and 300 and said we reassess in a little bit.
Anything that as we speak, I'm saying, they can still have a job.
All right. So there's that. They knew what was up.
Yeah.
Kipper and Debbie and everybody, they knew what was happening. They're saying she's guilty, that she's, acting out because she feels guilt. And they knew what was happening. And, there's a whole lot of other stuff going on with this audio beyond that.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, everyone keeps like there's a few people that keep coming after me real quick that they say there's like that line at the end that I've admitted could go either way. It's like a Laurel Yanny kind of situation where it's like,
the all I was popping part.
I was popping, all on top of, and I'm like, okay, I'll grant that it could be either one. I'm saying none of that changes anything that came before it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, she's either saying she was also popping just all this stuff that she's admitted to doing, and her friends that have admitted she's doing hallucinogens and all this and stuff. She's just saying, I wasn't doing cocaine, I was just popping this stuff. Or she's trying to make it out like Johnny was taking all this stuff, which again, she spent her whole relationship trying to frame him with he was the one with the real problem, not her.
Yeah.
Either way, it changes nothing about the audio.
No, it doesn't. I mean, there's just so much.
she should have something.
So, I mean, some interesting things about this is number one, none of these people care about Amber. No one is concerned about Amber.
No one's saying anything about shouldn't we get her some help? Shouldn't we get her some medical attention? No.
No. Okay, it's all about she's
Calm
got to
her down.
go.
Yeah.
She has got to go.
She just
And,
chopped his finger off. We got to get her the heck out of here. She cannot be around him. Oh
She
my
cannot.
God.
She cannot be around him. And she's got to get the heck out of here. You know, and there's nobody's concerned about there being anything wrong with her other than that she's like an emotional wreck. So one more.
My advice, Emma's gonna take care of herself, we're gonna take care of him. They can't be together now since the daughter's gonna come back. So, however, Amber, I think she should be in Los Angeles with her support system. And this has to run its course. And this is not gonna be 1 day, it's gonna be 2 days.
How about, I feel like somebody needs to fly with her.
Jerry's gonna follow.
She won't touch her.
I mean, I don't need to validate what you're saying, but,
No, but I'm just wondering if there's another person. That's what I'm saying.
well, I asked those same questions earlier, and it all goes like that. Should for that reason, like he's not going to be manipulated, he's a strong guy.
Not going to be
Yeah, is there a
manipulated.
trash that
Yep.
has bandages in it?
Interesting choice of words. So that's enough of that.
Yep. We gotta, not only does she have to get out of here, we got to get her out of here with someone that she's not going to be able to manipulate. Like someone she's not going to be able to like kick off of or trick into anything or whatever she's trying to pull. Get her back to her support system, which is what you do with people who are a little this.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, there's just so much. Oh yeah, there's one more audio. What did I do with it? One more thing about this Australia, you know, with the finger incident is there is an interesting piece of audio that came out in the Virginia trial. I gotta keep my trial straight here. Okay. So listen to this real quick. Pretty interesting stuff.
Thing. You ask any fucking doctor, you ask Callan, you ask anybody, the best thing to do if it's coming to a fucking horrible, violent thing is fucking walk away. Take your fucking time. Go to your corners.
Yep.
The
You
best
were
thing you can
actually
fucking
doing
do.
that, I would
7
agree.
times.
I don't know
7
what
times.
7 times you're talking about. I don't
5 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms.
You were coked out of your fucking mind. You were fucking crazy. You didn't sleep for days. You were delusional. You were psychotic. Literally, you went into psychosis. Do not tell me about your behavior during that fucking escapade. I have tried to completely block it out.
And I threw the vodka bottles.
You can poke an animal. No
Oh,
matter
now.
how
Did I
you
throw the
can
vodka
fucking
bottle?
poke them.
Deflection.
Did I throw the
You
vodka
threw bottles, you
Instant.
threw me,
No.
you hit me.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
No.
You threw.
You're right. Your three.
Keep saying
your
it. You
3
threw.
nights of skipping sleep. Your bags of cocaine.
After
your
you-
fucking Red Bull and your booze.
Here she
It's
goes.
all. You know what, Johnny?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
You want to hear what you want to.
I cannot deal with her.
Okay. So real quick, a couple.
I just can't.
I just can't. Oh my God. I would drink myself stupid.
Same.
So she hates right here the moment she's like, you threw this and you threw me, and he's like, no, I didn't. Like she can't stand that I've got it right here. She hates that he remembers
Yes.
because she made their entire relationship out of when he would be like on the nod, he would call it, when he would take the Roxy's and he would be on the nod.
Yeah.
And she would constantly try to tell him he did stuff that he's like, I know I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And she would constantly she would even get her friends in on it. She even got IO in on it one time, trying to convince him he did something when he was out of it. You just don't remember. And I'm like, or he does, and it's making you mad that he's standing up for himself and saying, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did I throw the vodka bottles? And her tone, it's kind of like when he says in the phone call audio, when he says, do you believe you're an abuser? And she goes,
right.
I mean, she goes from like hysterical to, I mean, deathly cold. Just like, do you know that I am 115? And it's just, you can just like, you can hear her eyes go like just down to a squint. And she does it here. She absolutely, if you just go back, not you, but like anyone who's watching this, go and listen to that. And you can hear her tone shift the moment she realizes he remembers that she was the lunatic. That's why she's sticking to drugs and alcohol. She's like, you did drugs and drank and all that stuff. But anytime he remembers who went crazy and who was throwing stuff, and she's like, crap, he remembers. So she goes, yeah, well, that's like, yeesh. It's like just a chill up your spine.
She does something similar in that San Francisco audio. We're gonna get to that later.
God, yeah. Well, I'm gonna make a note. Make a note, because she does it in San Fran too. And I pointed this out last night. I was walking around the house and I was like listening to this, and I think I mentioned this to you, and you heard it too.
Yep. Oh, that was like
chilling.
Absolutely. So let's keep it moving here with this ridiculousness. Okay. Next tweet. After Johnny injured his finger, he proceeded to use the blood from his freshly severed wound to write messages accusing Amber of cheating on him. He fully confessed this and says that after the blood from his finger ran out, he dipped his wound in paint to continue. Yes, this has never been denied. I don't know what the point of it is in this thread, and no one cares.
No one cares. He says, yeah, I wrote some messages. Oh, which by the way, she answered some.
She wrote that Carly Simon.
Yeah. Carly Simon said it better, babe.
Yeah. Okay. She wrote this. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one, Johnny says that Amber cut his finger off by throwing vodka bottle at it. However, a hand surgeon testified that the medical records proved that to be impossible. Medical records also confirmed there was no glass found in or around the wound. All right, well, we basically took care of a lot of this already.
This jackass.
This guy got shredded by Camille in cross-examination. He didn't have the angle of attack correct on the finger. He said his hand was lying flat. Johnny has described it on multiple occasions as hanging over the bar.
Go watch this. I beg you to go watch this guy get roasted. Just absolutely roasted in the cross-exam, because he says his hand was flat, and Johnny didn't say that. Johnny had already testified at this point and said that his hand was over the counter so it could hit when the bottle hit. It very much was at an angle that could have done this, and this guy tries to lie and say, well, he says his hand was flat. No, he doesn't. That's just what Amber's team told you to say, because that's the only feasible way that it couldn't have happened that way, that you feel like.
And for fun, all the way back from 2018.
Yeah.
Basically, I had a pretty nasty injury. That I actually, I had to protect her at the time. And so I said that it was caught in the door, one of these huge accordion doors at this house. That wasn't the case at all. She smashed, she threw a vodka bottle at me. And my hand was resting on the marble of the bar like that. And the first bottle went just past my ear. And the second one was a larger bottle, and she threw it from about this distance. And it smashed into the
to watch
bar.
His mannerisms, it's the same.
This finger, who I now call Little Richard, was the tip of the finger was severed, and all the bone in here was completely shattered. I mean, it's
So same thing. 2018
Exact-
Rocky Brooks
Hey.
deposition, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of months ago, he said the exact same thing, because that's exactly how it happened.
That's how it happened.
He says it up on the stand. Also, his voice is so deep,
It's so ridiculous.
so deep in there.
And we already just played the audio of who threw the bottles, and you
Yeah.
know, I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah, who threw the
already.
bottles? And she's like, woof.
This has been just done forever. It's been done. People just want to keep trying to
Yeah,
spin.
I'm gonna show you 14 seconds of a medical dude, a doctor who never saw Johnny's finger ever.
Yeah, right.
Not once saw him, saw the injury, didn't analyze anything. Just a doctor that we paid $5,000 an hour to show, or a day or whatever it was, to show up and say what we told him to say.
Right.
14
I mean,
seconds.
there's a reason that I didn't go for Johnny's expert, because again, not a person who saw the injury, you know, in order to combat this tweet. No. Okay. Dr. Kipper saw the injury.
Yeah.
And we have the whole recording from Australia where they're talking about it. Okay. They know what happened. And then we have that audio recording where Johnny's saying
no glass found in the wound. They cleaned it. It was cleaned. Like,
yeah,
of course.
Malcolm cleaned it. We know that.
Yeah.
Because he talks about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go there to wrap this up with a nice bow.
Before they go to the hospital, they go to Malcolm's.
Yeah.
And they clean this thing.
Get him up to my apartment.
Love his voice.
Get him into my apartment.
Me too.
Start washing his hand, basic triage in his hand, washing it, first aid.
Washing the hand, first aid.
His finger's just a mess. It's like one of them cartoon exploding cigars. I always think in my mind that one of them cigars that blow up, you know, the cartoons boom. And it's so flapping around. And I can see bone. There's bone there. It's smashed to bits. And he's wincing as I'm trying to wash his hand. Anyway, I sit him down and I phoned Debbie the nurse, who's living in the same apartment block as me. So that's my first thing, phone Debbie. Phone Debbie. About 20 minutes later, if that, I don't recall, maybe 25, maybe half an hour. But she turns up with Dr. Kipper. So Dr. Kipper does his thing. Nurse Debbie dresses it all, but Kipper is saying, right, this we have to go to the hospital with this. There's no other way. We have to go to the hospital. This has to be seriously looked at. We get to the hospital, and that's when that's when his treatment started, you know.
There you go.
There you go.
They cleaned it.
Yeah, that's why when they got to the hospital, there was nothing in it. They'd already cleaned it. They'd already done triage.
I mean, it's also possible that there wasn't glass in it. We're not talking about that the thing just disintegrated into tiny pieces. The bottom of the bottle breaking off on the end of the marble countertop and slicing through his hand is enough you don't need tiny little bits of granular glass in the wounds. Just doesn't matter.
Very good point. It didn't say the glass like splintered into 1,000 little pieces.
Yeah.
If it hits, it's solid glass. It's a thick vodka
it most
bottle.
Likely broke into large chunks, honestly.
It most likely broke into large chunks, and then it just sliced the tip of his finger right off. There's not going to be glass in there anyway. And
it's not only a slice, it's a crush. People have lost limbs from being crushed. Okay. This is a thing that happens in life.
Yes.
So none of this is hard to believe. Not at all. Okay. This is where we start getting into some fun things. 2 months after Amber filed for divorce, they had a meeting in which Johnny brought a knife with him and threatened to self-harm. He tells Amber to cut him or that he will do it himself. She refuses. This San Francisco audio is like personally the most difficult one for me to deal with. It just hits so heavy and I don't really like listening to it. But we do have some things. So first of all, it's not just 2 months after Amber filed for divorce, okay? She broke the TRO
Correct.
and set up this meeting to go and see Johnny in San Francisco because she wanted to reconcile. She did not
Yes.
want the divorce to go through. She wanted to make up with him and
She
get back
wanted-
together.
Yeah, she wanted to keep him. She absolutely wanted him back, and that's what she was trying here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, not only that, but she had just been in Miami with Elon.
Yeah, days before.
Okay.
Days before.
It's ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. All right. So here you go. They're at the Delano in South Beach, hanging around. This article is published on July 22nd of 2016. On July 21st and 22nd of 2016 is when Amber and Johnny meet up in San Francisco. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're talking about the weekend before. And we're going to
Right.
see that she is with Elon while she's setting up the meeting with Johnny in San Francisco. Page 6 reports Musk and Heard were spotting coming in and out of each other's rooms over the course of 4 days. Okay. Musk was in Florida for SpaceX. Heard and Musk have reportedly been friends for 4 years, according to Page 6, who also cites sources who claim that Heard was only using Musk's room for extra privacy while she vacationed with her sister.
Sure,
I
sure.
have several bridges in Arizona to sell people. Okay.
Yes.
Waterfront
Exactly.
property.
Waterfront.
Oceanfront property.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest is about the divorce and la la la.
So the previous weekend would have been the 15th through the 17th, for the record, for anyone who's wondering, because that's going to come into play here in a second.
Oh yeah, exactly. So we have Christian Carino, who gave testimony in Virginia that he's the one who set up the meeting and made it all happen at Amber's request.
Yeah. And when was she reaching out to him to set this meeting up? It was like July 14th and
July
15th.
14th. Yeah.
So going into her weekend extravaganza with Elon, she's also talking to Christian, trying to set up and reconcile with Johnny.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really
it's kind of like back on May 22nd, the night after Johnny leaves her, she's already texting Elon and trying to get him lined up
the very next day.
It's crazy.
It's so ridiculous. So we'll take a quick look at Christian's testimony here for a minute.
Do you know if at this time, based on your relationship with Ms. Heard and Mr. Depp, whether Ms. Heard wanted to reconcile with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
It's your understanding that she did?
Yes.
There you go. And a little bit further down the line here.
What transpired in that regard? Walk me through it.
At some point around that time, she wanted me to arrange for them to get together in person.
In person?
And what did you
Scared
do
for her life
after that was requested of you by Ms. Heard?
I talked to Johnny about it.
What happened after that?
He was reluctant at first and then agreed.
Imagine that.
And then what happened after that?
I mean, this is a long time ago, but I remember there was a fair amount of discussion about the TRO and how we would deal with that because nobody wanted Johnny accused of violating the TRO as an outcome of that meeting. And I don't remember exactly what we did, but Amber at some point warranted that she would never accuse him of violating the TRO to do the meeting. And I set the meeting up.
So just so I understand, you set the meeting up at the request of Ms. Hurd?
Objection.
He set the meeting up at the request of the defendant. She wanted to reconcile, get back together with him.
Yep. Johnny, reluctant, knowing that it violated the TRO, and was like, no, I'm not falling into this trap again.
Exactly.
Like, and he's just like, no. Amber's like, no, it's all good. Like, I know I've got this TRO out against you that is bogus and everything else, but just come on, meet me in person. I'm scared to death. I don't sleep at night. I have PTSD that Johnny's going to come back at any second and torment me and torture me. And her, like, she said these things.
It's just ridiculous.
Prior to this, in the months prior to this, she said this stuff.
Yeah. So this is just the setup from Friday, July 15th. These are some texts between Christian and Johnny.
When she's,
Go ahead.
When she's with Elon, by the way. She's with Elon. She's with Elon when Christian is playing this middleman, between the two.
In freaking Miami Beach. She's in South Beach. I'm from there. The Delano, I know exactly where the hell you are.
Yeah.
Fucking South Beach.
So she's with Elon, texting Carino to try to get a private meeting with Johnny in person.
It's hilarious. So I'll read them out for people who are listening on the audio version. Spoke to Amber.
Elon, you got played. Sorry.
You got played. Spoke to Amber. Let's get this set up. She is happy to come to San Fran if that makes the most sense. Send me your travel schedule and we'll figure it out. Peace. And she asked me to tell you that she loves you. Johnny replies on Saturday, July 16th. Hey, Christian, here are the travel plan and show date of San Fran. If you have any questions, hit me up. Hope all well, brother X JD. So just to recap, Johnny has left on the tour with the Hollywood Vampires, and they have this one concert stop here in San Francisco. So that's when the arrangements are made for Amber to fly from Miami from her love nest with Elon to go hang out with Johnny. And they do meet up on the 21st and the 22nd. If you watch more of Christian's testimony, you will see, let me get that off of here. If you watch more of Christian's testimony, you'll see where he talks about on the 21st, he first set them up to meet at one of his friends' homes. And they were there for a long period of time in San Francisco. And then Christian flew back to LA that night, I believe. And then the following day, the 22nd, is when they meet up in the hotel room, Johnny's hotel room. And that's where that recording comes from and all that stuff.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, because they mentioned in that recording, they mentioned the day prior that they had already met the day before.
Yeah, exactly. So getting back to, what the point of this whole tweet is.
Yeah,
so
let's pull that crap back up
properly. Okay, they had a meeting. Johnny brought a knife with him. This is not correct. Okay. He takes a knife off the room service table. There is much discussion in the audio about it's a dull, dirty knife.
that it's a dull knife. Amber's even like, it's too dull to cut yourself. Here, try this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but this is what makes this the most disturbing. If anyone watched the trial,
yes,
they played this, I guess, thinking that they were really gonna do something. Instead, it just made everyone
so sad.
It came across as such a cruel maneuver because you're playing Johnny Depp at his lowest point. He's literally telling Amber that she's destroyed his life. And she has. At this point, she has destroyed his life. She's trying to kill him. He says, why not take my blood? You've taken everything else.
Yeah.
You have taken everything else. Why not take my blood too? Because you have left me with nothing. He is at his lowest point, and she's got him there, and they're playing this for him. He gets emotional on the stand. They make him cry on the stand.
Yeah, and it's a Thursday, and it's the last thing that happens. And so they go into the weekend, and the last thing that the jury's seen is him being very emotionally,
human,
upset.
A very human Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. This just rolls into the next tweet. In this same meeting, he threatens Amber by saying, "You want to be cut? Do you? This is going to go to court. So this is like metaphorical because he's just been talking. Sorry, let me pause it for a second. He's just been talking about how she took everything from him. He's going to cut himself. And now it's that you've cut me so deeply.
Yeah.
He uses this quite a lot. He said death by 1,000 cuts about the lawyers.
Yeah.
He uses this quite a lot in a metaphorical way of speaking. So that's what he says.
Yeah.
You want to be cut, do you? This is going to go to court. You're going to get hurt. This is not going to go well for you in court. But anyways, we'll listen to it real fast.
Yeah. Do you? It's gonna go to court.
There you go. I really can't deal with this audio.
Yeah. Like, this is gonna hurt you. This is gonna hurt you. This is gonna go to court. This is gonna hurt you.
Right.
He doesn't mean he does not mean you're gonna get stabbed in court. Like, that's not what he means.
Oh God. Ugh. I mean, the whole audio is available,
Yeah.
Next one. After the infamous plane incident, Johnny had his Steven text Amber an apology for him. He says, when I told him he kicked you, he cried. Steven admits to this text conversation. Yes, he does admit to the text conversation, but hey, don't bother giving any further context at all.
Correct.
Okay. So, first, we'll go to Steven's witness statement.
Yeah. Never mind that several witnesses, every witness that was on this flight, that is
every
not,
single one,
that is not the defendant.
Yep.
Says this did not happen. Says that it was almost the exact opposite, and that she was berating him and everything else until he finally went and hid in the bathroom and went to sleep because he couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Never mind that.
You want to run this one down?
Yeah, sure. This is Stevens, correct?
Correct.
The claim is, after drinking heavily, the claimant threw objects at Miss Heard, causing her to retreat to a different seat. The claimant then provocatively pushed a chair at her as she walked by. This is on a plane, folks. Yelled at her and taunted her. When Miss Heard stood up, the claimant kicked her in the back, causing her to fall over. The claimant threw his boot at her while she was on the ground. The claimant continued to scream obscenities until he went into the bathroom of the aeroplane and passed out. So this is part of Stephen Duder's witness statement. He says, I accompanied Mr. Depp and Miss Heard on the flight on this date from Boston to Los Angeles, along with Mr. Jerry Judge and Keenan Wyatt, who we actually saw on the stand in Virginia, Keenan with the good hair, who also worked for Mr. Depp. Mr. Judge and I were able to see Mr. Depp and Miss Heard throughout the flight as our seats were facing them. Mr. Depp and Miss Heard were set at the central table on the airplane. A diagram of the layout, blah, blah, blah. They show a diagram. The account relied upon above is completely untrue, as everyone attests to. As I was sitting on the flight, I could see that Miss Heard was speaking to Mr. Depp in an increasingly aggressive manner whilst he was focused on his notebooks, within which he often wrote or drew when flying. At this point, I had my headphones on, so I could not hear the specifics of what she was saying, but I could see her gesticulating, and I could tell from her manner that her voice was raised, I imagine. She continued to harangue Mr. Depp, whereas he did not engage with the abuse he was receiving. At some point, Miss Heard stood up, and when her left side was towards Mr. Depp made a playful attempt to tap her on the bottom, so on her bum, with his shoe. From where I was sitting, I do not believe that Mr. Depp made contact with Miss Heard. Given the position of which Mr. Depp was sitting, go ahead and zoom in if you need to keep up. It would have been impossible to kick Miss Heard in the manner in which she has described. The level of movement would not have been possible from Mr. Depp's seated position, given the layout of the airplane. However, Miss Heard took great offense at what was clearly a harmless gesture and increased her abuse on Mr. Depp in an extremely unpleasant manner. By this time, I had taken off my headphones and I could hear Miss Heard shouting at Mr. Depp. I cannot recall the specifics of the abuse, but I do remember her making out that the attempted tap was a significant issue. Again, just like when he wrapped her up and the heads bumped, all of a sudden it became, you broke my nose and everything, and you can see that.
Exactly.
Everything is just overblown to this "how dare you" moment.
Yeah.
At this stage, Mr. Judge and I decided to intervene in order to attempt to calm down Miss Heard. Calm her down. Sound familiar? Australia.
Remember that?
Who was now hysterical and was shouting at both of us words to the effect of, "Did you see him kick me?" Again, trying to convince them that what just didn't happen happened. Mr. Judge took Miss Heard aside, as he often had to do, Jerry Judge, when Miss Heard regularly lost her temper and attempted to calm her down in another part of the airplane. I believe I spoke briefly to Mr. Depp, and then he then retreated to the bathroom of the plane, where he remained for the rest of the flight. This was a common theme on the multiple times when Mr. Depp was abused by Miss Heard. He would take himself away from the situation, off into the bathroom. Remember that?
Yep.
And lock himself out of harm's way. During the course of their relationship, I remember Mr. Depp telling me that he would lock himself in the bathroom on multiple occasions. And I remember turning up to find him locked in a bathroom on one occasion, although I cannot remember specifically when it was. So Johnny running away to bathrooms, locking himself away in bathrooms is a common thing. At no point did Mr. Depp kick Miss Heard to the ground, nor did he throw a boot at her. Further, it's alleged that he pushed a chair at her. This did not happen and would have been impossible in any event, as all chairs in the plane were fixed to the floor, as has been the case in all flights on which I have traveled, and all flights since the dawn of time. Immediately after the flight, Miss Heard continued to insist that Mr. Depp had kicked her. She kept using the word "kick." "Did you not see him kick me? Oh my God, this animal."
Same as the headbutt thing.
Same as the headbutt thing. This was the exact word she used when she described the incident to me and to Mr. Judge and to Mr. White, despite the fact the incident took place as described above, and they witnessed it. The following day, on May 25th, Mr. Depp asked me to try to mollify Miss Heard and to say whatever was needed to try to placate her. To placate her. Say whatever you need to do to try to placate her. He can't remember exactly what he said, but it was words to that effect. And given her Miss Heard's extremely volatile nature, I thought it was best to try to engage with her on her own terms and simply apologize for what she was alleging had happened, hence my use of the word "kicked," which is the word which Miss Heard herself had used. As I've made it clear, I'll go ahead and finish that. As I made clear, Mr. Depp had not kicked Miss Heard. By this stage, I had learned from my interactions with Miss Heard that her anger was a constant issue. Accordingly, I always tried to simply engage with her on her own terms and be as nice as possible. Always use her verbiage. Whatever. Yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say. He kicked you? Jesus.
Exactly.
He's so sorry. He's so sorry. Please calm down. He's so sorry. Placate. Remember all this.
Every time. I mean, he gave testimony as well, which I'll run through really quickly, because he says something interesting. So the question was from the judge, why did you not say it was just playful? At this point, you are exchanging text with Miss Heard, and your explanation for not saying to Miss Heard that this was just playful is what? And Stephen says, I suppose I do not have one. I mean, I was seeking to probably sort of deflate the situation. Deflate the situation. And had I used that terminology, I do not think it would have been received very well. It was not my job to be a relationship counselor. I often find myself in this position throughout life as the middle person, as a domestic abuse survivor myself. I do not do well with conflict. I always seek to mollify or appease, and I was not comfortable in this position or sending these texts. All I sought was to, yes, deflate, appease, and kind of just say what I thought was what people wanted to hear, to be quite honest. To Ms. Wass, so you did not say to try and calm things down. Look, he did not mean to hurt you. No, you did not think that would have mollified her. Yes, I think, having my opinion on it, I think it would have this would have gone south. I did not want that. I just wanted to keep the peace. It would have gone south with her to say, look, he was mucking around. He did not mean it. Yes. You think that would have inflamed Miss Heard, do you? Yes.
God, yes.
And why was that? Why was that inflaming? Because I do recall on the plane that she used the adjective, "This is where I got the word from."
Yep.
He was appalled when I told him he kicked you. He cried. It was disgusting. He knows it. Did he cry, Mr. Depp, when you said what he had done? I do not recall. Obviously, I've written it there, but I don't recall. You see on the face of it, Mr. Judas, this series of texts is a clear admission by you that he kicked her and he didn't remember doing so. Do you agree? I mean, it's not my interpretation because I know why those were sent, why they were sent, but I understand that is how they can be interpreted. Yes. Your interpretation, which you put in your statement, is that you were just saying Miss Heard wanted to hear. Yes. And in my conversation with Mr. Depp at the time, he said, placate her, Say what you want to say, calm her down. As I have said, often I found myself in this unfortunate position, and kicked was just the adjective she was using on the plane. So kicked was the word I use here. I obviously regret that. I did not realize what was being put together at the time.
Yeah, exactly. What was being put together at the time?
If you didn't already know that this was a long con, you haven't gotten
Yeah.
on board with that line of thinking that this was a long con and a long hoax by a slippery. You already know.
You already know.
Get on board with that thought, because it
Yeah.
absolutely was. This was the entire relationship, the entire shenanigan of this. It just
This-
everything was a setup.
This woman who would beat the crap out of him and then text people saying that he did something to her because, like, hey, let's get out ahead of the truth and some stuff's going to pop up, so I need some corroborating evidence, all this stuff. She says it. You think this was 3 years worth of me just like collecting stuff and everything else? This is the same woman who illegally recorded so many people would say some of the weirdest stuff. Like, if people just said it out loud to you, it's like, why are you narrating stuff? Like, why are you narrating stuff to get it on tape? And yes, she would argue about the adjective use. She would say, you said loved instead of love, and argue about it. So yeah, if you say he playfully, like reached his toe out there or whatever, yeah, she's going to argue that and be like, no, he kicked me. She's going to argue.
So ridiculous. I mean, and just for fun, we have one more little piece of audio.
Yeah.
Regarding airplanes and kickings. Oh my.
I like that song.
It's a good one. Here we go. Alrighty. This is from Virginia and comes out of the long audio tape, the 4-hour tape. This is just a quick little snippet because it's just where we wanted to hear for this part of the conversation was, but this is part of the 4-hour audio, and they're talking about a lot of things surrounding Toronto and stuff here. But
yeah, we're not telling you don't go listen to the 4-hour. We're not.
Please do. Definitely
we're not trying to do like what the tweet did and give you a snippet and try to like build a whole narrative around that snippet and like try to avoid the rest of everything happening. Please go listen to the entire audio. She's a psychopath. Go ahead.
Or you could just go listen to 5 minutes of this part. It starts around the 20. I wrote it down. Starts around the 25-minute mark, 24-minute mark.
Yeah.
But it's just this is where they sort of specifically talk about this.
Sure.
On the plane that I'm talking about is the plane from Boston. I did nothing to you. I mean, everyone can attest. Everyone will back it up. I did nothing to you that time. You were fucked up. You're real fucked. I'm talking about a long time ago. That was the only time in my relationship with you. Remember, I went back to New York that I felt so unsure about us. It was after Toronto. And I sat on that all week and cried every fucking day.
It was after Toronto. What? This Toronto? I didn't kick you on the fucking plane.
I know. I said that was the only other time.
I didn't kick you on the fucking plane. I know.
I didn't kick you. I know. I'm just.
Just went through this whole thing.
What I'm saying is I didn't do anything to you on that plane. I didn't do anything to you on that plane. But I will tell you that was the only time that I had doubts about our relationship.
Which is crazy.
Not all the other times that I like all the other BS I spewed while I was on the stand in Virginia, but that was the only time.
This is, I mean, ridiculous. I mean, the quickness with which she goes from that time I'm talking about a long time ago where you kicked me on the airplane. You go, I didn't fucking kick you on the airplane. I know. Oh my God.
I know. Now, but hear me out.
On the plane that I'm talking about is the plane from Boston. I did nothing to you. I mean, everyone can attest. Everyone will back it up. I did nothing to you.
Spoiler alert, they did not back that up.
They didn't back that up. Yeah, she did do stuff.
You were fucked up. You're real fucked. I'm talking about a long time ago. That was the only time in my relationship with you. Remember, I went back to New York that I felt so unsure about us. It was after Toronto. And I sat on that all week.
Not after.
And cried every fucking day.
It was after Toronto. What? This Toronto? I didn't kick you on the fucking plane.
I know. I said that was the only other time in our relationship.
Oh,
that
okay.
I
Oh
felt
my
like this.
god.
I know. I'm not saying, okay, right. I know. I'm just saying that was the only time that I doubted us. Not when you dragged me over broken glass and everything else for 3 days. I didn't doubt us then. I was like, this man, he loves me.
Luis. I mean, spectacular. I actually didn't back it up quite enough to catch her saying when you kicked me on the plane, but it's
Go take a listen.
It's 20.
Funny.
So I started at 24 minutes in, but there's a whole lead up of you're kicking me on the airplane to that piece there. All right, let's go on to the next. I have notes. I mean, everything's crazy. Everything's crazy.
We're getting more official here.
Oh, the next one's fun.
That was like
sorry. Oh goodness. Johnny's former business managers allege that Johnny had, quote, gotten physical and violently kicked Amber and knowingly tried to cover it up on at least one occasion. All right, this is really fun. Okay. So this is TMG.
I can't.
What happened?
I can't. These a-holes, man. These guys are idiots.
Oh, they're ridiculous. They're just
ridiculous. I can't believe this is in this thread.
I can't either.
I cannot believe this is in this thread that they think that this is anything.
This is really funny.
Oh god. Okay.
This is gonna get real funny. So yeah, so this article here, Johnny Depp's former business manager is alleged. Okay. Take a look at this date, June 24th, 2017. Okay, so everyone is aware that Johnny sued TMG, which is the Mandels, Joel Mandel and his brother, because they had embezzled a ton of money from him, somewhere in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And they were going to court, and they settled just before it was supposed to go. And by all accounts that are printed, is that it was settled favorably for Johnny with many millions of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of zeros.
Lots of zeros. This date, keep that in mind for a moment while I show you the next thing.
For the record, they never saw anything. This is them saying,
oh yeah, this is total hearsay.
This is while they're being sued, saying, you know, all that crazy stuff Amber Heard's saying, we believe it. That's it.
Also,
that is literally all this is.
Yeah, of course. They're just they're taking the opportunity to use Amber's allegations as a means to an end. Like, oh, she's saying something too. Okay, we'll back that up. It's total hearsay. Joel Mandel did testify in the trial about a bunch of other nonsense. It was not asked about this statement or questioned about this in any way because it's hearsay.
We believe what Amber says. That's it. That's all they.
So in a funny, I don't want to call it coincidence, but while I was looking for the statement I'm about to show you, it occurred to me that both things happened in 2017. So we have this article, June 2017, and then we have this little blurb in the blast. Okay. A little atom bomb. Johnny's lawyer, Adam Wallman, told the blast. Jake Bloom, Johnny's lawyer, who he also sued, is accused
into retirement.
Yes, into retirement. They had to close the firm. Is accused, among other things, of a failure to supervise the fraudulent activity of the Mandel brothers, TMG, Mr. Depp's former business managers, who are under multiple federal criminal investigations and whose offices were raided by the FBI in June of 2017.
When this article came out.
Coincidence.
Don't look, kid. Look over here. Don't pay attention to this.
What a coincidence. Don't you just love when that happens?
Literally raided by the feds as part of this whole investigation thing, and Johnny's suing them. And then they're like, hey, don't forget, Amber accused him of some stuff, and we're gonna believe it. It's just some sleight of hand BS.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. And just to add on even further, these guys used David Shane to run their PR smear campaign.
And who's David Shane?
Yeah, the lovely, just lovely gentleman that Amber hired.
She hired during the Virginia trial. He sat in the courtroom for a few days until he got his own mess.
Yeah, he sure did.
With. Yeah,
I mean,
that's who these guys hired. That's the circles all these people run in.
That's certainly a mess, you know.
Yeah,
it's a mess. Here you go.
Amber Heard's new PR guru, David Shane, hired to paint Johnny Depp as an alcohol binging abuser, has 2 DUI arrests, left 2 jobs after sexual harassment claims, and is known as the walking #MeToo case in industry circles. That's who the Mendells hired. That's who Amber Heard recently hired.
Yeah.
That's who all these people run around with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good folk. Good people.
Super great.
God.
Super duper great. Just, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't.
You can't. But sure, go ahead and put that in your thread.
It's fucking crazy. Everything's crazy.
These sleaze baz and bezzlers.
Oh God. Goodness. So next tweet. Amber alleges that Johnny was violent with her on his private island while he was detoxing. He confirms this when he says if he doesn't leave, it will become a bloodbath like it was on the island. This is just wrong.
Wrong. She does allege that she don't get me wrong, Amber alleged that he did get violent.
Yeah.
He does not confirm it.
But that's not what's wrong, is that this audio tape has nothing to do with him detoxing. This is not about the detox. This audio tape is from January 4th of 2016. All right. It's exhibit PLT 372 and DEF 598. Okay. There's multiple clips that add up to 8 minutes of audio. This is right after the December 2015 trip to the island, after the headbutt and the nonsense, and then Christmas on the island.
Yeah, the broken ribs and everything. When she's pictured on the island and she looks flawless, I guess would be the term.
Definitely that would be the term.
Yeah, well, I just, she ain't
no.
Yeah, that's what they're discussing here. Because on the island, this is when on the island in December, in late December 2015. Yeah, here we go.
Broken nose, 2 black eyes, broken lip.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really get much closer up than that, which is a little bit terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, it scares me. But this is when she assaulted him, when Tara Roberts, who kind of manages the island estate,
100%.
When she witnessed Amber just again mauling him and chasing him all over the island, and threw the paint thinner can, which like hit him right in the bridge of his nose and everything, and paint went everywhere. And she literally chased him all over this island, abusing him. So yeah, he calls it a bloodbath. He's going to call this a bloodbath. You're going to call a lot of things a bloodbath, whether there was a lot of blood or not. But he's calling that a bloodbath because she chased him all over the island being crazy.
Yeah, she did. And we actually have, I pulled the whole audio clip because, well, we'll show you what Camilla shared first.
Yeah.
Which is 13 seconds.
Island, of course. Next move, if I don't walk away or just go out for a little while, it's just gonna be a bloodbath, like it was on the island, of course. Next move.
Okay. 13 seconds.
Again, but yet you're hearing the man plead his case. He's like, I have to walk away, otherwise I'm going to get hurt. Like every time he doesn't walk away, he ends up getting like punched or something thrown at him, or he loses a finger, or something always happens to this man. So he's like, it's not going to be a bloodbath like it was on the island last week.
Totally. Just crazy. I mean, the whole little bit of this clip is 1 minute and 43 seconds long. Like I said, this was kind of split into multiple clips that add up to 8 minutes, but this is the part that's referenced here. So here it is in full.
Walking away is necessary.
Yep.
Is necessary, especially between you and I. It is of utmost importance. Because the next move, if I don't walk away or just go out for a little while, it's just gonna be a bloodbath, like it was on the island, of course, like it was, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Why be miserable? Can we just
if the options are that,
have some semblance of understanding for each other's?
please, can we? Because I'm not trying to say, hey, by the way, no one in their right mind is going to choose bloodbath over walking away. Obviously, if you're given the option between the two,
then why has it been chosen so many times?
it's that snowball. It is not a distinct choice.
It's that snowball.
Either one of us make it any discernible.
That's noble.
No, it's stubborn.
Noble, okay.
You know, and it builds, right? Like you build,
okay.
I build. You know, it isn't like at one moment either of us sign a certificate of saying, or like sign the contract, or say, okay, now a bloodbath. No. So acting as though there's a choice between the two is irrelevant. I'm not asking you to stay over having a bloodbath. I'm asking you, over walking away. I'm not asking you to have a bloodbath over walking away. I'm asking you to work it out over prolonged.
All right.
Oh my
So
God.
it's extremely obvious they're talking about an argument. All right.
Yeah.
Verbal
It's like-
altercation.
Her issue is always stop walking away, stop leaving, stop leaving, stop leaving.
Every time.
And always says that's what escalates it. That's him leaving is what makes her turn violent. She says it, the therapist lady said it, that Amber would admit that if he was going to leave, she would like punch him to try to get him to stay.
Yeah.
This is what she's saying. She's like, we don't have to choose that. No one's saying we have to. And notice how often it's her violence, but she refuses to say it's her violence. It's like, if there's violence, if it gets violent,
yeah,
if it gets violent, if you get violent, you just won't say it's you. Jesus,
so ridiculous.
That comes into play several times in all of these audios when it's talking about her violence. She's like, when it gets violent.
Oh,
it
yeah.
She uses it as a very general term when she gets violent.
Yeah. Oh. All right, let's keep it moving.
Moving
Next
right along.
week.
Thanks for those 13 seconds.
Hey.
Powerful stuff. Powerful.
Johnny and Amber meet again after the divorce filing. Well, no, they don't. There's only one meeting in San Francisco after the divorce filing. Okay. It's over 2 days, one meeting over 2 days in San Francisco. The clip that they have chosen to use here is from the Discovery UK documentary. And he calls her a leftover stripper and says that's all you'll ever be.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not used to the way that Johnny speaks by this point, I don't know what else to tell you. Especially
also
he's just been accused of a bunch of horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking overly old stripper. That's all you'll ever be.
Oh, that music.
It's just
you've done.
Voting.
You're recording.
Yeah, I am.
Ooh. It's that.
God.
You're recording. Yeah, I am. It's like Predator. What the hell?
It's like she literally, when you play it in the full context of the audio, she has been berating him for the entire audio is like 24 minutes. Go listen to it. Please go listen to it.
Please do.
Like where this is like 18 seconds of trying to hide the rest of it from you. And she's berating him till finally he's just done. And this is after she's asked him to like sleep with her, hug her, touch her, kiss. Like she is just like, I just want to touch you. And it's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, no, after everything you just accused me of, no, screw you.
Absolutely not.
And then she berates him some more until finally he says it, and you can hear her like shuffle around and pull the phone out as if to be like, boom. And then he's like, oh, you're recording? She goes, yeah, I am. Gotcha. Like, gotcha. It's like, Jesus. Like
Christian
there's
Bale
that
Batman voice.
Yeah,
dude.
so
It's
seriously. Where are they? I'm the psycho this city deserves.
Oh my God, no, no, you
No.
are
not the one it needs.
no.
San Fran. So I wrote this note that this is like when she turned cold earlier in that audio we were mentioning, where she hates that he remembers.
Yeah.
And she just turns completely cold and like in an instant when he remembers, he's like, I didn't throw the vodka bottles, did I? And she's like, boom. Like it might as well just bring out the keyboard and go boom.
Yeah.
Like you did, because she turns ice cold right there. And this is the point where I made the note earlier where I said she did it again in San Francisco, where she's like da 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 da, and finally goes, "You're a leftover fat stripper," like, and then she goes, "Boom, gotcha. I just spent 24 minutes browbeating you to death, and then you finally said something, and here I go, and some idiot on Twitter is gonna clip this and use it as evidence."
It's literally,
yeah.
I mean, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Go listen to the entire audio. Go listen to the entire thing. It's hours worth of audio. This isn't
It's she's going hypocrite, hypocrite, hypocrite,
hypocrite, hypocrite. She says it like 6 times.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's like, do you have it? Just pull it up right there. You played it for me last night, yeah?
This is after the defendant is basically talking about his drinking and his drug use and everything. This is after she says she doesn't want to fight. Remember, she's like, I don't want to fight. Let's just stop. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. But also, I want to fight about stuff when I can point it out about you. But if you bring up a point, I just want to go, stop. Let's calm down. Stop.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to talk about anything. So this is right at the end after she's like, I don't want to fight, but let me tear you apart real quick.
Were we in this? No. Yesterday, did you think it was important to fight about the minutia of one line of one of our million of
Yesterday, I didn't know about Elliot Spitzer.
Yesterday, you were fine.
And that makes me so sick. So sick. Because...
What, you were fucking Michelle? Hypocrite. Hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Have a look at her and have a look at him.
Hypocrite. Nope. Hypocrite.
Hypocrite, get out.
I'm getting... You're fucking Michelle, you're giving me shit.
Hypocrite, you are a leftover fucking over the hill stripper.
There we go.
That's all you'll ever be. And this industry, all you've done, I can't clear that.
Yeah, I am.
Recording.
Yeah, I am.
Go. Hi. I'd like to say hello to David and Paige and say that I love you, and I'm sorry this didn't work.
Dude.
How about that? I think it's so
winds him up, winds him up, winds him up.
winds him up, winds him up, winds him up. And he brings up Elliot Spitzer, isn't it like the former governor of New York or mayor, something like that? Like it's something like that. He brings up, some sort of politician. Good guy, probably. And so she's like, you were good yesterday. He's like, I didn't know about that yesterday. So then she brings up him doing somebody and just keeps hypocrite. He's like, oh, I'm a hypocrite. Fine, I'm done. I'm out. Like he's already telling her, I'm done. I'm leaving. And then she says something else and she murmurs off something about some shit. And you can hear her say it at the end.
Some shit.
And like some she literally says something like that. And so he goes, oh, I'm a hypocrite. And he calls her that. And you can hear her like rustling around and get her phone out. He's like, oh, you're recording. Yeah, I am. Go. It was like, he was already leaving, you idiot.
Yeah.
He was already leaving. It's like, you just didn't like that he was getting that kind of last word in because you got to do that. So now you're like, yeah, I am.
Oh,
I got the 10 seconds I needed.
God, it's
go listen.
Horrifying. It's just so horrifying.
It's disturbing.
It's so
disturbing. I am vengeance.
God.
I am the night.
I am the night. So let's keep this moving.
Yeah.
Johnny demands in an email to his manager that the production company delete all sex scenes and nudity in Amber's movie London Fields. Here's this email from Johnny to Tracy Jacobs. Must be shut down. I'll sue them 18 ways from fucking Sunday. These people are nobody in this business. They should be made to understand that we will ruin them instantly. I need you. There's a follow-up reply. I need you to get on fucking Harley's regarding London Fields. They're going to be premiering it at the Toronto Film Festival, despite our letter of legal action. If they use their version and not the Matthew Cullen version, it is in Amber's contract that there will be no nudity, and her fucking agents are weak and insipid. Also, they were told that I would not allow them to use any of my work in the film, as I agreed to do the film based on Matthew. Will you please call these motherfuckers, and you and Jake get on this immediately? So, couple things. I know that most people who've been following the case and everything are aware of this, but it did not come up in Virginia anytime they mentioned this movie, and I don't understand why. But if you don't know, Johnny's in this movie.
Yes, he is. He's in it.
Johnny has a cameo appearance in this movie with Amber, okay? And that's what he looks like in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this guy with the scars on his face and all kinds of stuff. That's what he looks like in London Fields. So just number one to be aware of. Number two, Amber was sued for $10 million by this production company for breach of contract. Okay.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous. So first of all, I'm going to pull up those court documents, and this email, I just keep this date in mind, August 29th, 2015. Keep this date in mind as we go through this court filing real quick, because it has a lot to do with everything that's going on here. So this is court filing by Nicola Six Limited, United Kingdom company versus Amber. Okay, they're suing her directly for $10 million. I just want to point this out. Greenberg Trauig, Matthew and Rosengart, best law firm on the planet. Thank you very much.
Nice
personal reasons. So we'll just there's some sections that are already highlighted. All right. So Heard participated in a concerted campaign of disinformation against the plaintiff and the picture, which has significantly damaged both. As a result of Heard's tortious misconduct and breaches, the picture remains in limbo. Its sale, distribution, and release have been thwarted, and the investments of plaintiff and the picture's other investors have been severely, if not irreparably, harmed. All right. They accuse Amber of basically sabotaging the movie, which is what happened.
Yeah.
In a hilarious little blurb here, in April 2013, Kapoor, this person was the original director of the film, pulled out of the project citing Heard's inexperience as an actor. Just enjoy.
Like, I don't want my name attached to this anymore because of one person's inability to do their job.
Yeah, this guy's like, I ain't going down with that shit. Nope. Just find another director. So they do. They find this Matthew Cullen guy who comes from directing commercials and music videos. So we go down a little bit further. After a series of meetings, plaintiff agreed to cast Amber in the starring role. At the time, she was a rising star involved in a relationship with Johnny Depp, one of the most famous actors who later joined the cast of the picture. Okay. Before agreeing to star in the picture, Heard advised plaintiff that she had read the novel and as well as the screenplay, and she had discussions about Nicholas Six's character with producer Chris Hanley and his wife Roberta, who co-wrote the screenplay. Heard understood the nature of the role of femme fatale and the tenor of the screenplay, which was salacious, provocative, and contained nude scenes. Further, Heard knew and understood that her acting services, cooperation and promotion and publicity services were integral to the picture's success and plaintiff's ability to market and sell the film to distributors for subsequent exhibition in theaters. Okay. Accordingly, in the fall of 2013, the producers provided Heard, and Heard executed, means she signed it, a certificate of engagement and actor agreement granting the plaintiff sole rights in the products of Heard's acting services and requiring Heard to render certain services as Nicholas Six. Okay. Heard had previously executed under the bold heading promotions and publicity services in agreement to requiring. All right. Heard also signed. So the actor agreement, which Heard also signed and for which she accepted payment, provides that any nudity and sex scenes shall be solely as set forth in the nudity rider attached hereto and made a part hereof. The nudity rider provides that Heard shall have the right to view the sex scenes and approve, which contain straight on things in the picture has been completed and prior to public viewing. Actor agreement expressly referenced and incorporated the nudity rider, and Heard accepted payment for her acting services and agreement to publicize, promote, blah, blah, blah. All right. During principal photography, Heard and Cullen secretly made unauthorized changes to certain of the screenplay's more provocative scenes, including scenes containing nudity without notifying Nicholas Six or their consent. By unilaterally changing the content of the screenplay, Heard interfered with the director's agreement and contractual relationship with the plaintiff. All right.
All right.
All right. Plaintiff is informed and believes and based thereon allegations contrary to the representations. Media Talent and Kaczynski, who's people that Amber were working with, knew or should have known that neither the actors, the director, nor Kaczynski and Media Talent had ever been granted final cut authority over the picture, and their quote approval or authorization was not required to release the picture. Nevertheless, Media Talent, whom plaintiff is informed and believes was acting on behalf of Heard and others, succeeded in its efforts to derail Nicholas Six as its actions and comments undermined efforts to submit the picture and market it to Sundance. Okay. Media Talent, Kaczynski, actors Heard, Thornton, Sturgis, and others knowingly conspired together to thwart Nicholas Six's efforts to release the picture. Okay. So this, I mean, it just goes on forever that Heard falsely claimed that she had not granted Nicholas Six the right to the results and proceeds. Heard claimed that Nicholas Six had no right to use her performance in the picture was utterly false, obviously. Heard's claim that she had not contractually agreed to nudity was false. Her representative had informed their attorney that Heard had agreed to inclusion of nudity in the picture. Heard accepted full payment of fixed compensation without reservation. Further, in summer or fall, they sent Heard a nudity rider along with the COE and actor agreement. You know, they gave her everything she wanted.
Yep. And she signed and she got paid, and yeah.
Yeah, and so in any event, contrary to Heard's conspiracy and complaint and campaign against plaintiff and picture, any nudity in the picture is consistent with the terms of the rider. Key scenes in the script had to be removed and or rewritten to accommodate Heard's behavior, which is refusal to comply with contractual obligations. The scenes had to be removed and rewritten. Heard's claim that the producer's cut contained unauthorized nude and simulated sex scenes was without basis was merely part of her bullying campaign to obstruct plaintiff's ownership and exploitation rights. Okay. On May 17th, 18th, 21st, and 22nd, 2015, Heard, Thornton, Depp, and Sturgis each sent coordinated letters to the producers criticizing and disparaging the cut. This act, along with Heard's other disclosures of confidential information, was in violation of Heard's agreements. Okay, here we go. Remember the August timestamp on the email? In mid-August 2015, Toronto International Film Festival's highly selective selection committee accepted producer's cut of the picture as a main selection. The premiere was scheduled for September 18th, and Heard and Cullen were supposed to appear. Depp was not obligated to do any publicity for the film because he just had like a cameo part. Okay, so Johnny was not obligated to do any of this stuff. Heard was one of the most photographed attendees at TIFF. Johnny also premiered Black Mass. So Johnny's email is August 29th. Subsequently and shockingly, by email dated August 29th, 2015, Heard, through her agent, sought to have TIFF's artistic director, Cameron Bailey, pull the picture from the festival. Heard and her agent had no legitimate legal or other basis for their egregious request, which also referenced the picture's other actors who were acting in concert with Heard. Indeed, the request was made in violation of Heard's clear contractual obligations. Okay. She didn't want the movie to come out.
Because it was terrible.
Yeah. All right. That's what all this is about. She sabotaged this movie.
She did. Yeah, she didn't want it to come out. It was terrible. She was terrible in it. The director quit because of that during filming. And she sabotaged it. I remember there were tweets going around from some of her biggest fan pages saying that they had been told and instructed to do not promote this film.
Yeah.
Like, do not tweet about this film. Do not do anything for this film.
Yep. So that's nice. Yeah, they're trying to use this email against him when clearly she was on this rampage trying to get the movie canceled, and he's sending emails on her behalf.
Yeah, like he's just doing it because she's like, Johnny, you gotta let him know. Like, you got some star power here. You got some flex. Tell them my agents are idiots, and that you really want this thing to go away.
Yeah.
So he did. He did for her because she requested it. This is this is not some sort of like controlling a moment by him.
Not remotely. So yeah, these documents, if you want to see them, are available on Deadline. The lawsuit was no longer able to go forward. As far as I understand, the production company could not financially handle the lawsuit any longer, so it kind of just went away. But these documents still exist. So, all right. Here's your London Fields drama. Back to the tweets.
Yeah, we've been at this a minute.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
Amber reported the sexual violence and stuff to a therapist throughout a relationship. I mean, this is hearsay. We've been through this a million times. Yeah. There's nothing she says that adds up. Her credibility is completely in tatters. We've played Australian audio that shows people in the house. There's nothing wrong with her. Her credibility about the Hicksville incident is completely dismantled by Mr. Morgan Knight, rando number one, amazing guy who came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
We love him. Great job. But just the entire story surrounding Hicksville is completely dismantled thanks to him. Johnny did a grand total of $60 worth of damage to the trailer.
Yeah.
By knocking
a light fixture.
A light thing off the wall or whatever happened. So yeah, just no. Okay, This is fun. Amber texted her mother in 2013 about Johnny's violence. Well, it's real interesting that they chose these specific set of text messages because this date here, 22nd of March 2013.
Yeah.
Amber's at the Rolling Stones recording situation with Johnny and all them while this is going on. It's funny because Laura and I covered this in the Road to Fairfax version of this podcast. So let me take you to this because you're going to see her texting about 8 different people. Okay. Text from Amber to Christian Carino. Thanks. I'll let you know. Camera wrap and second day of filming. Happy. Text from Rocky to Amber. What are you doing tonight? And here's Paige. You should tell your dad and be honest. JD will listen. Text from Amber to Christian. I'm stuck here for the moment. I'm trying to wrangle myself free. Stay tuned. Okay, she's on set. We've seen these pictures. There's a lot of pictures. She's on set with Johnny and Keith Richards and all them. Text from Christian to H. Okay, Selena just got here too. She's supposed to go to wherever he is. Text from H to Christian. On the way. Great. Text from Amber to Paige. Can't tell dad. Text from Amber to Pennington. Going to Christian Carino's house for dinner. JD's been crazy. He's on a bender. So fucking of the drama. Blah, blah, blah. I really feel lonely and freaked out. Okay. Text from H to Paige. It's okay, Mom. He's not being violent. So these are all the texts that we've seen from Camilla's thread.
Yeah. He's not being violent.
Right.
He's not hitting me.
Not being violent. Christy, you do not have to thank me. I'm going to tell him he has a key if he wants to go to your place. Text from Amber to Crispy. I'm here when he needs me. They're together. Yeah. Amber's with him at the Rolling Stones thing. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's all this stuff.
Making dinner plans.
All these texts. Okay? She's texting with like 18 different people saying different stuff. This is like the epitome of triangulating freaking conversations.
Yep.
Ridiculous. 100 different texts going out here. These are the ones with Paige. She's at the damn thing, the Rolling Stones thing. To Christian, can I bring anything? From Christian, yourself. I mean, everything's like fine. Text from Christy to Amber. Enjoy your dinner. Amber, perfect, thanks. Almost there. Cool. What do you want to have a drink? What do you want to drink? I'll have it ready. And then she's still on this nonsense with Paige. I mean, my God. How do you even keep all this straight?
It's just flip-flopping back and forth.
My God. I would have texted the wrong person the wrong thing.
It's like my heart is broken. Oh, maybe a little vino. And it's just like,
it's so totally ridiculous. And then here's Nathan. Oh, he's going to stay up at his own house. Okay. Okay. It's just stupid. All right. And beyond that, there's a lot of text between Paige and Johnny at different points, especially during the divorce.
Yeah, after the TRO's in place, and Paige is basically telling Johnny she's still wanting to adopt him and everything, like basically admitting, like, I know my daughter's a little crazy. Please don't tell her we're speaking. She'll be mad at me. She'll take her anger out on me.
Yeah. Here, I'll do the here we go. So here's these. Mom texted Johnny Depp, I love you, son, after alleged DV. Johnny, here's the Page to Johnny. It's the lawyers on both sides doing this, not Amber. I heard the whole story, very teary. If I could just talk to Johnny, she didn't want this. Freaking lawyers on both sides. This is not her idea, not her wishes. She was told she would be evicted in 30 days if she did not do this. Her dumb lawyer, possibly as the only way she could have a place to live in 30 days. She did not want to do this. I swear to you, the lawyers are freaking things up. So here's Johnny. If she didn't want to file a restraining order and send me a message to the world that I am some kind of violent wife beater, then why would she go to the courthouse with a photo of her that looks like she's been abused? This is my life too. What are my children's friends supposed to think? Didn't deserve this. Okay. They continue the conversation. Her lawyer told her she had to, and she had to today. That's why she wanted to talk to you. We didn't talk, so please never bring this up, but I'll swear to you, this was not her idea, nor did she do it willingly or happily. She was told it was her only option to not being kicked out. I'm not making excuses, but that's what she believed. She didn't want to. She felt she was betraying her only love, but the lawyers said so.
Again,
shockingly, after hearing the details of the alleged altercation between her daughter and Depp, Heard's mother ended the message exchange by telling him, please don't pass this on if you ever talk to Amber again. I love you, son.
Jesus. Blaming the lawyers for everything. Like, she didn't want to do this. It wasn't her idea. It was the lawyers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Paige knew.
Of course she did.
She knew.
Yeah. All right, next tweet. Amber also texted people about her injuries and sometimes would excuse them as accidents. This is really funny because this is one of those things. It's so shady the way that it's written because you don't discuss any of what Amber's claims are surrounding these text messages. Okay, so this is December. This is the December incident. She's sending a message to Jody, her publicist. I had an accident, really bruised, might have a black eye or two. Same with my nose. Nurse on the way. No, she ain't. That's a lie. Make sure I don't have concussion. There's a chance it might not be fit for tomorrow. She's talking about going on the James Corden show. Okay.
Correct.
Which she does. Same thing with Io. Okay. And my favorite part of this is this text at the bottom to Jessica Kovacevic.
I love this.
Go ahead, do it.
Just to interject. No, I'm going to let you read this, but I just want to say this is after Amber said all that stuff she claims about December happening, which is like she was dragged up and downstairs by her hair, large chunks of hair pulled out, bloody nose, broken ribs, just all sorts of mess happened to her. This is when she feared for her life and was just repeatedly hit, beaten, choked, slammed, pushed down, dragged by her hair, large chunks of hair ripped directly out of her scalp, head butted in the nose, punched in the face, in the head, broken ribs. Carry on.
It's just, I mean, yeah, exactly all that. So she said, I had an accident tonight, Jessica, really bruised. Might have a black eye or two. Same with my nose. I might have a black eye on my nose. I mean, come on, dude. Nurse on the way to make sure I don't have a concussion. No, chance might not be. I mean, it's the exact same text. Okay, giving you a heads up. I'll call you tomorrow to let you know. Okay, can we push my morning stunt appointment to the next morning?
Yeah. Ignoring the fact
wants-
that she
yeah.
ignoring the fact that she literally copy pasted from Jody Gottlieb to Jessica here. It copy pasted and then just added, can we push my morning stunt appointment to the next? So instead of doing a stunt thing, and so we're now going to be doing stunts. We're doing something very physically demanding. And all this stuff happened to her: broken nose, broken ribs, concussion, hair ripped out, everything else. And all she needs is just one more day to sleep that off, and she'll be right as rain, ready to roll. Yeah, one day. I just need an extra day.
One extra day.
Extra day to just amend all the fences. That's all I need.
Bruised ribs, bruised all over my body, 2 black eyes, a broken nose, a broken lip. I just need just an extra day for the stunt training. Just let me get a little extra nappy poo.
Yeah, 8 more hours of sleep, and I think I'll be good to go. Yeah. Come on. Or and when she went to the doctor, when she went to the doctor's office, she was they saw nothing. They saw no injuries.
Nothing.
What did they tell her? Stop drinking so much.
Yeah, stop drinking. Lay off the wine.
Lay off the wine. Stop drinking so much. So this tells me she just needed to push it because she was maybe herself on a little bit of a bender, a little hungover, and needed the extra day to sleep. But she'd be fine. She'd be fine for that late afternoon James Corden thing.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Next.
Yep. All right. Here, Amber tells Johnny she doesn't like him drinking because it makes him go violent and sideways. He proceeds to tell her that it's not because of the drinking and drugs and that it's her that makes him that way. This is also from San Francisco. Okay. From the San Francisco audio. I will play this version and then we'll play the contextualized version.
Today, how much up and down and violent and sideways it is.
No, you have no understanding about that. You really are naive.
She says it.
Because
but I do love you.
Booze does not make me.
But I do love you.
Booze does not make me crazy.
I do.
Drugs do not make me crazy.
I do love you.
Tolerance of a fucking battleship.
I know.
And here's the deal.
But it got so much worse
you
today.
make me crazy. And the reason that I drank so much, you go, why do you drink so much? Why do you drink all the time? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Was because of you. Yes.
It's my fault you drink. Okay.
It's not your fault. It's just that's why I did it.
But it got so much worse.
Because
the harder you
that actually makes his point for him. That audio actually makes you played enough of that. You made his point for him. By the way, she doesn't say. Again, this goes back to when she's violent, she says it gets violent.
Yes.
She's referring to when it gets violent. She does not say in that audio, you can listen to it a million times, you'll never hear her say that it makes him get violent and sideways. She said when it gets violent and sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just play a little bit more of it because he talks about.
The harder it can get, the harder it is when you use a drink. Like, look at today, how much up and down and violent and sideways it is.
No, you have no understanding about that.
Yeah.
How much more violent sideways it is.
Yeah.
Because
but I do love you.
Booze does not make me.
But I do love you.
They're lying to you. They're telling you something that isn't there.
Yeah.
Hoping you won't question it.
But it got so much worse
you
today.
make me crazy. And the reason that I drank so much, you go, why do you drink so much? Why do you drink all the time? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Was because of you. Yes.
It's my fault you drink. Okay.
It's not your fault. It's just that's why I did it.
But it got so much worse.
Because I couldn't stand the fucking haranguing at all times. Anything you could say
today,
to me.
I didn't harangue you today about it, but you're still drinking nonetheless.
She did.
She's haranguing right now.
She did in the entire time leading up to this. She did.
Yes.
Smaller about.
I don't want.
Smaller.
I don't want you to keep fighting with me about everything I did wrong in the relationship. I know I know you.
Oh my God, I can't deal with that. But yeah.
I don't want to keep fighting about everything I did wrong.
I did wrong in the relationship.
Yeah, I want to talk about stuff you did wrong. But when we switch to me, I want to become the peacemaker. Like when we turn to me, I just want to become like, why can't we just love each other? She spent the entire audio up to that point just absolutely berating him.
Totally. Next one. In this audio, Johnny yells at Amber, says, "Don't fucking pretend to be authoritative with me. You don't exist." I mean, I just don't care.
Please stop. Fucking acknowledge what I'm saying before you keep making demands. You are not a school teacher. Shut the fuck up. Listen to me, and then you can fucking respond. Understand? You ain't nobody's fucking mom. You ain't no school teacher. Don't fucking pretend to be authoritative with me.
Okay, fine.
You don't exist.
Leave it on.
There you go.
So they both, I mean, it's very clear throughout that they both have, yelled at each other and called each other names and said, stupid stuff to each other. So I just
and
don't
you can tell. Yeah, you can definitely hear she's trying to get a word into there. Like we don't know what's on either side of this at the moment. We'd have to go find this, but like in this audio, there's very much a back and forth. And yeah, they yell at each other. I mean, Travis even testified. He's like, yeah, they would yell at each other. I mean, like everyone testified. Johnny testified. Amber sort of testified. But like, yeah, we yelled at each other. We said some pretty mean stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and you don't have to like it, but it's what happened. And they did it to each other. Like making it so one-sided in this thread is very disingenuous. I mean, should we play the "Suck My Eggplant" audio? There's just there's so much of her participating in that behavior too that really, as far as this like name calling and saying mean shit to each other, you basically that is just thrown out the window. Like it just becomes a moot point because it's very much going both ways. So
yeah, when she tells him to go jerk off his security who came in to stop her from hitting him,
right,
like stuff like that.
Same thing with the next one. Amber explains she's trying to help them. Johnny doesn't think it's
This is not helping, you stupid fuck.
Okay, so Amber's further from the mic, but she's still screaming in the same tone Johnny is screaming in. Johnny's just closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Like, this is not helping, you stupid fuck. This is not helping.
Whatever she doing ain't helping. It ain't helping.
Yeah. But 5 seconds. Thanks for those 5 seconds there.
Thanks for the 5 seconds.
It's pretty bad when you have to rely on 5 seconds.
Right. This is just very disingenuous way to write this too. Makeup artist recalls having to cover up Amber's bruising and a split lip with makeup before she went on a talk show. Okay, it's the James Corden show. This is about December 15th. Okay, first of all,
y'all don't want to say that. Y'all never want to say that because we can see her on that talk show and nothing shows up the way it should show up according to Amber's allegations.
No, not a thing. Y'all don't want this smoke.
Yeah, y'all don't want to say that. That's why y'all are being so vague. Y'all like before a talk show. Say which talk show it is. Why? Because people will then go find it and be like, wait, this is after she said she had like literally a busted lip, broken nose, black eyes, chunks of hair pulled out of her scalp, everything.
All that.
Y'all are not, this is being disingenuous and declarative and everything like you said, where
and Melanie's going, oh, I used peach concealer and some red lipstick. Bitch, shut up. Nah, you didn't. Also, you said on the December 15th, you went over there and there was nothing wrong with Amber. And then you saw her the next day and suddenly, ibbity bobbity boo, there was some junk under her eye. It's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah, she basically looked like she'd been, and even there were experts that looked at this and they're like, I can't tell if these are black eyes or if she didn't sleep all night. Like, it's kind of the difference. When you can't tell the difference with, I can't tell if these are black eyes or if she slept all night. She wasn't headbutted with the full weight of a human being.
She certainly was not.
Square in the nose, like she claims.
No. Next one, Johnny texted his friend. I, of course, pounded and displayed ugly colors to Amber on a recent journey. I am an insane person and not so fair after too much drink. I think what they're trying to do here is imply something with pounded. This is very Rottenborn-esque.
This is very, very like, I have other purposes for your throat.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Pounded. He's talking
about
drinking.
pounding drinks. Yes. Yeah. Pounding beers, pounding drinks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
It's speaking of Rottenborn. Rottenborn did not ask Johnny one single question about one of the allegations of violence.
Yeah.
Not one time.
Rottenborn questioned him about drugs, alcohol, text messages, misconstrued things like the word pounded and everything like that. But not once did he question Johnny about any details surrounding any of Amber's allegations of physical violence.
Not one time.
So why would you avoid that? Because you're trying to make it about something else, just like this. I guess they're trying to use something with word pounded there. It's stupid. Carry on.
Yep. I sense much fear in you. Here's the TMZ video of the cabinets. I mean, this is already disingenuous because you're using the TMZ version and not the full uncut version that we got from London. Okay, the full version's been available since the London trial. There's no excuse for using the TMZ one. It's trash.
Yeah, they're using the TMZ one because it cuts out after Johnny picks up the recording device and drops it in the trash. It doesn't show her setting it up, repeatedly hiding it, and then at the end, after he walks away and says "ass," she scoffs and chuckles at it.
So funny.
Yeah. So anyway,
ridiculous. Here it is.
It's already telling you they're trying to fool you, and they're not even hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, here she is with the setup. I'm just gonna scrub through because I'm getting tired of this. She sets it up. Okay, there's Johnny having his little cow. She don't care.
She don't care.
I'm hiding my cup, and then here's the end.
She's trying desperately to get him to aim his anger at her.
He throws it in the trash can. Look at her face. Smug bitch.
He walks away. He leaves again.
Yep. He has walked away.
Like, I'm out.
And he calls her an ass. And that's it.
And
there she goes. Yep.
Scared to death. Look at her. Look at her.
Scared. She's making sure that thing was recording, man. I'll play it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But sure, use the TMZ one.
Yeah, it's already. If you're using the TMZ video, what you're doing is this.
We already know you have no argument.
Correct. Johnny destroyed Amber's closet and vandalized paintings she owned that were painted by her ex. Okay.
Okay.
He's admitted to vandalizing things. If you really want to talk about this painting incident, I will talk about the damn painting because the Lord of mercy. All right. She did not even bring this allegation to the United States of America. It was so badly dismantled in London. Okay.
Yep.
Went from this painting. First, she tried to say this painting was lit on fire. Then they noticed it was encased in glass, and they're like, "Oh, not that one. Another one with some damn flamingos." Which I don't even know if it's flamingos, but I don't care anymore. Yeah. And they're like, she shows a picture of it like sitting in her garage. They're like, "Oh, where's the painting? Where's the painting burned on the back?" Oh,
okay, how convenient. He flipped it over and burned the back of it.
He flipped it over,
but none of that bled. Yeah, none of that bled through the front of the canvas.
No,
and we're not gonna. We're also not gonna show you the back of it.
Yeah, and we're also not going to show you the part where the text messages that we used to frame the incident are from a year later.
Yeah. So anyway, that didn't even get brought into this because it was completely dismantled.
Just a bunch of crap
in the UK. And then this is when she.
But I'll quickly share this because it's funny.
Yeah, there it is.
And here's your paintings, and then 4 years later, here's your painting still hanging in the stupid penthouse when he goes to sell it.
When he's about to sell it, yeah. After the separation, after they'd even already filed for a divorce.
So this one where it's hanging out in the garage, she's going, "Oh well, it's just burnt on the back of the painting a little bit." Bitch, what?
So okay, sure, whatever you say.
Yeah, no, okay, no.
You just take my word for it. Could you just take my word for it?
No.
That was basically the entire UK judgment.
That was the entire UK judgment. I'll just take your word for it.
I'll just take your word for it.
As I said earlier, you don't want this smoke.
Yeah. Right. Rearrange. This is the whole rearrange the closets. When Johnny got mad, he was in a cast, and she claimed this is when. Yeah. Basically, she almost shoved Whitney down this. Amber almost shoved Whitney down the stairs.
Correct.
Threw a bunch of stuff at Johnny. Johnny got mad when Whitney and Amber went next door and was like, you know what? The largest penthouse I own that she has turned into her multi-million-dollar closets.
Yeah.
Upstairs. Yeah, I'm gonna just tip over all this stuff. You know, I'm just gonna like. And Travis said he's like he was mad. He was mad.
He rearranged the closet.
Yeah, like she had already like thrown a bunch of stuff at him. She had already spit in his face.
Yeah, all kinds of junk.
Stuff. Yeah.
So, and we already know that that's what he does. He draws on the countertop. He paints with his finger. He
doesn't touch it. He doesn't beat her.
Slams the cupboard closed.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
Okay. This is just ridiculous. Johnny berates Amber for yelling, "Call the cops" to her friend who was on the phone with Johnny. Okay, like first of all, and it's like beeped out too. This is trash.
God, just go. Look, you can find this on YouTube. It's 2 hours.
Brian's
it's you can go find it on YouTube where it's not bleeped out or anything. He's not berating her for calling the cops. She's trying to act like I didn't want any of this to become public, Johnny, because he's like, look, we're going to go to court and you're going to get smoked. And she's like, I didn't want any of this to become public. And the whole conversation is her trying to save her reputation because she knows what comes of this. And what came of this? What just came of this?
Yeah, she lost.
She lost, and the court of public opinion saw the entire truth. And this is what he was telling her during this phone call. If this goes forward, you're not going to be able to save yourself. So the whole time she's just trying to be like, I didn't want any of this to happen. He's like, you literally called the cops. And she's like, well, I didn't. He's like, well, IO called the cops. Like you try to make this into a destroy me publicly before the truth came out about you situation.
More ridiculous than the berating for calling the cops is the next part, who was on the phone while Johnny was beating her. This declarative statement is trash.
That's
3
not it.
Police officers testified in the Virginia trial, and they testified previously in London, Melissa Sains did, that none of that shit happened. We have the body cam. All right, how many times do we have to go over this? 3 of them testified in Virginia that there was nothing wrong with the bitch.
Nothing wrong with the bitch.
I mean, what else do you want me to say?
Go listen to this. This, like you said, disingenuous doesn't even begin to cover this. At no point is he like, look, when I was beating you, you had IO call the cops. Screw you for that. He does not say that. He does not say anything close to this. They're just trying to tell you that that's what they're talking about. So they use a little snippet and they go, this is Johnny angry that he was beating her and that Amber told on him for beating her. No, that's not what he says.
No, this is the conversation. It's the divorce phone call, all right? And I don't care.
I did not call the cops. I gave them no statement. IO called the cops. You told IO to call the cops. I did not call the cops, and I did not give them any statement when they came. I've been trying to protect you. You told IO to call the cops. While it was happening? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because the last time that it got crazy between us, I really did think I was going to lose my life, and I thought you would do it on accident. And I told you that. I said, oh my God, I thought for the first time. Amber, I lost a finger, man. Come on. So when I say that I thought you could kill me, that doesn't mean you counter with you.
Wow, they cut a lot out.
Yeah, they did.
They just cut a lot out.
Yeah, that's actually a waste because there's so much.
They just cut the entire thing where like she's talking about the different fights or whatever they've had.
Yeah.
And he's like, Amber, he's thinking of when it got crazy. He's like, well, it got crazy when I lost my finger. And she comes up with this, you tell everyone it was a fair fight. You tell everyone it was a fair fight and everything like that. And they just cut all that out and got back to you had hands on me. And I guarantee you at the end, they probably left the part out where he finally says, Amber, do you believe all this? Do you believe all this stuff you're saying?
Yeah.
Do you really believe it? Like he really calls it into question. I guarantee you they left that out too.
Well, now we have to go do it because
Jesus Christ.
We heard it in living color there that something ain't right.
It is it's the top right.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Hey everyone. So
oh God, my voice.
Why is it in French?
Why is it in French?
There it is.
I'll call the cops. There it is.
He doesn't have to tell her the amount of evidence and witnesses he has, but just that it will end
badly. And we'll cut to this.
IO called the cops. You told IO to call the cops. I did not call the cops, and I I've been trying to protect you.
You told IO to call the cops.
When while it was happening?
Yeah.
Okay, briefly, they do discuss the cops being called on May
Ah,
21st,
God dang it,
2016
Brian, shut
while
up.
it was happening. And keep in mind that it,
God.
according to Amber, was that she was assaulted that night. You know, the whole all. In fact, this night in May,
Jesus Christ, Brian, shut up.
God damn it, Brian.
telling Johnny
I
the truth
swear to
about
God,
Amber
no
leaving
wonder
poop
people
in
are
the
like,
bed
dude, just
a
shut
month
up.
prior after her April birthday party following another physical attack against Johnny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because the last time that it got crazy between us, I really did think I was going to lose my life, and I thought you would do it on accident. And I told you that.
Thought you would do it on accident.
Oh my God, I thought
Mhm.
the first time.
Amber, I lost a fucking
Yes.
finger, man.
There you
Come
go.
on.
Look at that. They look at all this they cut
I had
out.
a mineral can of mineral spirits thrown at my nose.
I think it's odd that it appears she's trying to convince him.
Oh,
the last
God!
time things quote
Let me
got
find
crazy
this.
between them
It's
that she
fine,
honestly
bud.
did think she was going to lose her.
A fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny.
Look at that.
Oh, this is that classic line.
Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
It doesn't matter if it's a fair fight. My
It's
ass.
Exactly, because you're bigger and you're stronger. And so when I say that I
Jesus.
that doesn't mean you counter with you also that you lost your own finger. I am not.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just trying to point out the fact of why I said call 911. Because you had your hands on me after you threw a phone.
I think this is where he just goes, oh my God.
He goes, oh my God, he does.
Yeah.
I need to stop.
He's just like, fuck this.
And you can tell she's
Yeah.
making it up. He says, oh my God. Oh my God. Because she's making it up. She's like, and you had your hands, and I was like, I need to stop this madness and everything else. And she's like, this is the famous line, tell the world, Johnny Depp.
Tell the world.
Tell them you're a big, strong man. You're not allowed to even touch me. Don't wrap me up. Don't stop me. Don't push me away. Don't do anything. They left all of that out. Jesus. Yeah, but we're the ones that chop stuff up to benefit.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, okay. And we have that whole audio without your little interjections anyway.
Yeah,
so.
it exists. It exists. Look it up. Find it's all over YouTube. Find it without me talking over it because it's great.
This is pretty silly as well. Let me go back. Goodness. Johnny instructed his private medical team to over-medicate Amber to keep her under control. This same Dr. Kipper got his medical license taken away for over-prescribing. First of all, another declarative statement. Were you there?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I was the client. Ultimately, if you and Debbie aren't able to at least speak of me, who I really am and what, I was the one who asked you to calm her down and keep her under control, not because she was kicking drugs. It was to take her pressure away from me. Same reason that I hired her shrink, who, by the way, only made her worse. This is obviously a conversation about her unstable mood situations. There are numerous notes from Aaron that talk about either Amber's mood being labile or that she's done a good job at for example, at a restaurant with a wait staff, that she treated everyone properly and everything went smoothly and fine. There's a lot of notes floating around about Amber and her mood swings. So in my opinion, that is what this is talking about, that they all know that Amber has some sort of problems, and they're trying to keep the thing together. To mention that Johnny supplied her with a full medical staff, a private nurse, a mental health professionals to help with her issues. I mean, like, how super abusive, Amber was running around looking for her own shrinks. She's the one who reached out to Laurel Anderson. She's the one talking to whoever she wants to talk to.
Yeah.
Super abusive.
Yeah.
He's providing her a total private medical concierge service.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever she needs, whatever she wants.
Lord of mercy.
He's not telling at no point. Again, this is them telling you something that isn't happening. He's telling them to, hey, over medicate her. That's not what he's saying. It's not what he's saying.
I'll tell you what, if I lived with that, I would want somebody keeping her ass under control too.
Yeah, I would
too. Trying to find something. Not really evidence, but just weird. Johnny makes a gun motion while Dr. Don Hughes. I just don't even know, really. Okay.
I just made a gun.
Kill her the increase in severity of the abuse,
I
the
don't know.
forced sexual activity, the
It's-
choking behavior.
for me,
and they
it's-
have to take them seriously. So there were a number of behaviors that came up on this scale, such as Mr. Debs threatens to kill her.
Oh, he
increase
does
in
it when
severity
she
of the
says
abuse,
kill
and they have to
her.
take them seriously. So there were a number of behaviors that came up on this scale, such as Mr. Debs threatens to kill her. The increase in severity.
It's like a
of the
response to
abuse.
what,
Debs
like,
threatens to kill her.
he knows
The
what she's gonna
increase in
say.
severity of the abuse. Mr. Debs
You know what I'm
threatens to
saying?
kill her.
Maybe,
The
yeah,
increase in
I could see that,
severity
but
scale, such as
I
Mr.
think
Debs threatens
I
to kill
literally,
her.
yeah, maybe I could
You know
see
what I'm
it
saying?
being
He's
that.
going, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm
I
throwing
almost
you.
think I
Amber
see it
says
almost
that
as
all
like
the time.
that, yeah, she says it all the time. I almost do it like I've done it a million times where I've been like, can you believe this shit? Like, look at this.
Yeah,
Look at this. Like,
Mr. Debs threatens to
like
kill
I'm not
her.
even like making a
The
gun.
increase
It's just
in
like I'm
severity-
just going like, you. Jesus, it's
To me, it looks like he knew
this,
what she was gonna say, because Amber says that
could
dumb
be.
shit all the time. He threatened to
be.
kill me, so he's like, here we go again.
But
Yeah,
this
killed her.
this is such a reach. This is such a reach.
Of course, it's irrelevant.
Scratch that.
This is so great. This is one of my favorite tweets of the whole thing. Amber describes an assault in which Johnny held her down on a countertop and her arms were cut with glass. You can see the scars of those gashes on several red carpet and paparazzi pics after the alleged assault. This is Australia.
To ribbons, I say.
This is Australia. Okay? Do we really need to talk about Australia? Because
oh God. This is all she had, by the
This
way.
is-
My God.
the Australia
the amount of stuff that she says happened to her in Australia. Just dragged naked over broken glass, deep cuts, lacerations all over her body, her back, her legs, her feet, her arms, her hands, everything. Busted lip, bruise on her jaw from like just several shots. I mean, just constant. And I mean, then we had the essay thrown in there now and everything. So much happened to her. And it's like, what does she have? Oh, you know, she's got a few things. She's got, you know, like a few things right here. You know, like just a few little cat scratches going in the same direction on one arm. On one arm. This is all she has. Oh my God, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting, bro.
Does anyone believe that this is from shattered glass on a countertop being slammed on it and then trying to like push yourself up off of that shattered glass? No. And she says this was all over her entire body. This is a backless dress. Like, if I'm not mistaken, and you can see her feet, she's in like open-toed heels at this event. Like everything she should just be cut to ribbons. And this is all she has on her.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It makes no sense, per usual.
That was my soapbox.
No, I enjoyed it very much. You know. Here's a medical note from Aaron Bourne. Okay. I'll make it bigger.
It was big.
March 9th, 2015. This is the day that Amber returns to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
March 8th, 2015 is when the shit hit the fan. Johnny lost his finger and all that happened. The very next day she flies home. We just heard everybody talking about it earlier on the audio tape. Okay. RN and client. Yes, we played it.
Did we play Jerry Judge saying
not yet?
Okay.
Not yet.
Sorry.
RN and client in touch via text and phone calls after client arrived at 3 p.m. Client expressed feeling SIDS. Client attended 2-hour psychotherapy session, reports feeling a little more sorted out. RN met client and her friends for dinner at 2200. Client appears in good spirits, laughing, socializing, appetite normal. Client states she would like to discuss recent events between her and her husband with RN in private tomorrow. Plans are made for RN to visit client at her home tomorrow. Client has been compliant with medication throughout the day with prompting. RN encouraged client to notify her of any needs throughout the night. Does that sound like somebody who's just been in an Avengers fight scene?
No.
Jesus.
It sounds like someone who just had the psychotic episode that you hear her have on tape and they're trying to calm her down.
God bless.
Jesus.
I cannot. This is, oh God, it's
but
just.
Hey, she's got a few linear scratches on her forearm, and that really matches up with what she claims happened. So
Right,
let's
a
roll.
3-day hostage situation. I just can't.
God, it's just the fact that people are looking at. Read it, watch the case, watch the trial, watch everything, look at everything, and see how it doesn't match up. These people are just lying to you. See, her arms were cut with glass. She claims everything was cut with glass. Why don't you show everything?
I mean,
In
it's
this audio.
At the moment, I'll do a deal with the devil. I'll mistake it out. Because we'll be selling the car to kill us. To trim down and go legal on this. To get this whole thing calmed down. If you really now, and this situation is over for me, everything is out. It's completely unacceptable. And all she wants to do, all she needs to do is look. Stephen, I need I'll believe her everything. Get her the fuck out of it. That's all I'm gonna do. And I was listening to her. I said, I will tell her everything she wants to hear. But we need to fuck out here and concentrate on it.
That's interesting.
Everything she wants to hear. I will almost placate.
Yeah.
I will. This is after Australia, by the way. This is after she went psychotic and threw a vodka bottle that smashed and chopped Johnny's finger off, and then she put a cigarette out on his face.
Psychotic. Yeah.
Psychotic. So again, we have that next day. We have the nurse's notes about how she's doing her psychotherapy sessions and everything like that. And she's uninjured. No one in the audio at any point is like, hey, let's deal with these deep gashes all over Amber, like these lacerations. No one's doing that. What are they trying to do? They're trying to calm her down and get her out of there before she can do any more harm to Johnny. And they're like, you don't need to see him. I will tell her whatever. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah.
This sounds just like the text from Steven to Amber, where it's like, she's saying he kicked him, just say he feels terrible about it.
Right.
I will tell her whatever she wants to hear just to get her on a plane and get her the F out of here. He threw you off the roof and then elbow dropped you from the 3rd story. Okay, sweetheart, whatever you say, he feels horrible. Get on that plane, leave. Like he has no idea.
On, man.
Jerry has zero idea, zero inclination that he is being recorded in this moment. True. And he is saying, it's basically believed. He's talking to Christy, Johnny's sister, and he's talking to Stephen Duders, who we have the text placating her.
Yeah.
And it is basically understood that among the inner circle, we just go along with whatever Amber says to keep her calm. Yep. Just keep her calm so she doesn't fly off the freaking handle anymore. That's what's happening here. He's saying this and has no idea that he's being recorded, and he's saying this just openly. I'll tell her whatever she wants to hear.
Yep. It's crazy. I mean, we do have this other picture of her from March 20th. After her Avengers fight scene, she's chilling with the puppy in her Range Rover. Another claim that didn't come to Virginia from London is that whole shit about he wouldn't let her drive the car and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
She's driving the car. She's in the Range Rover. Okay. She got punched in the jaw. She's clearly been for a little checkup of something or another. No slashed up arms. No beat up face. She's chilling with her pup. March 20th. So.
Oy vey.
Oh, this is so stupid. This is ridiculous. In this audio, Amber confronts Johnny about him hitting her while she's helpless and on the floor. Let's listen to this audio, because if you're going to take this as literally as this, she's being stabbed as we speak.
She's being stabbed.
Well, yes, you do, because you wouldn't have used that as a way to hit me. I was
You wouldn't have used that as a way to hit me. She's talking about the way
you're not using
an emotional
anything.
Outburst.
Yeah, if you're hitting someone, you're not using something as a way to hit her. You are, like you're just hitting her. Like anyway.
Yeah.
Hard out to you. What do you do? Let me get it. Stab in here. That's what you saw, huh? You listen to me cry, and you're like, now I can get her. Is that what you think? Or you just do it without thinking? You do it without thinking, huh? You don't. Get him. Stab him when you can. You throw a swing when you can. And what win better than to win them on the floor? Because that's when it's really good to hit someone.
This is ridiculous. It's just
like
ridiculous. This
when
is
I'm,
a total
she's-
metaphorical speech.
It's all it is. When I'm down
Yeah.
and out, crying on the floor, that's when you get your swings in. That's when you get your stabs in. That's when you. Come on. Okay, next.
Next.
Oh God.
Oh, this is just as good. Are you fucking kidding me? He beat the shit out of her again. You guys stood by and watched it. This is Josh Drew's interpretation of what Jerry Judge said. Okay. This is putting words into the mouth of a dead man because you know that he can't respond.
Yep. This is Josh Drew, the night of May 21st, 2016. Now, the same Josh Drew who said, I heard Johnny coming down the hall and I knew my wife was out there with him and he was angry. So I locked the door and locked myself inside, that good luck, sweetheart moment,
The same Josh Drew who said Raquel was hiding in the closet.
The same one that said, if you read this, it's not my business thing. When his wife was beat up and knocked around by Io, when Io like knocked Raquel around, and Josh was like, "Hey, that ain't any of my business. That's between them. That ain't any of my business." Said that, testified to that, said that ain't any of my business. Gee, that looks familiar, doesn't it? He's putting those words into Jerry Judge's mouth while he like beats on his chest like, I was like, Johnny Depp is not coming back in this building. No, sorry. Here's your phone back, sir.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. This guy
anyway.
Told Adam Rat was hiding in the closet. Yeah.
Jesus.
Witness.
Also, Josh who saw nothing.
Josh who saw nothing. Correct. This is ridiculous. Witness testimonies confirming Johnny's violent nature and his abuse of Amber. The statements that are made in the tweets are just as good as the nonsense they use in the tweets.
When the physical abuse was more evident, I was worried. I was worried for her physical safety. I was worried that when he turned, he might actually do something that was worse than he ever intended.
I heard like a noise, and then the phone dropped.
Oh, these idiots! All right,
God,
you guys
these morons who never saw anything, but
nothing.
Everything was on accident. He would do something that was worse than what was intended because he was on the nod, and we could lie to him and tell him he was doing something.
Yeah. Also, Rat, who was hiding in the closet, and
who didn't cry at all like that in 2016, weeks after when she gave her deposition. By the way,
I'm about to pull that up, but
Jesus.
Io
She's crying now because it's like, I can't believe 6 years later I've lost everything. The money train, it's all ended. I don't have this life anymore, and I can't believe I'm getting dragged back into this. And that's where these tears are coming from.
And fucking Io, who put Lily Rose on blast with nobody's permission. Josh was just a freeloading sack.
Yeah.
I just okay.
Io just this self-important, like, oh man, I was like the coolest person in both their lives. Me. Io's entire testimony is me, man. I'm so freaking great.
Yeah. Let's enjoy this. June 16th, 2016. It's just a few weeks after May 21st happened, okay?
Yep.
The term abuse has a very broad definition, as I've so learned. How do you define abuse?
How funny.
My definition would be...
This is ridiculous.
Broad term.
Throwing things. Extremely violently loud yelling and verbal abuse.
Not physical yet.
Destroying other objects in an apartment.
Still not physical.
Destroying personal property.
Okay.
Causing bodily harm.
Oh, there it is.
And unneeded emotional distress.
Okay. Oh, God bless her.
Prior to that moment, between 5 and 6,
had you? I got you.
Jesus.
I got you.
She listed 4 things before it was like, abuse has a broad term. Chuckle, 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 chuckle. She lists 4 things before she finally gets to, like, knocking somebody around.
Yep, exactly.
And then she finally goes, and then after that, she's like, okay, physical harm too.
Yeah.
And then some emotional stuff thrown in there. So this is again 3 weeks after the May incident, which is the last time they would see each other after the birthday incident of April 22nd. So she is being right here, and in the near future, you're going to see a lot more of this. But even to her broad definition, she's being asked at any point leading up to and after or up to the April 22nd birthday party, the next to last time Johnny and Amber would ever actually be together. She's like, Blair Burke is questioning Raquel here.
Oh, she's so good.
She's saying, even by your really broad definition, that's what she's asking here. So go ahead. This is up to that point.
Okay.
Ever observed, you with your own eyes, observed any conduct that meets your definition of abuse by John Depp? No.
God.
Dude.
So for their entire relationship, essentially their entire relationship, you laid out this whole broad definition of abuse that you're hoping you can just pigeonhole him into something. And you're like, throughout their entire relationship, did you ever witness anything? No.
Oh my God. It's so funny.
It's worth another listen, really. It's worth rewinding a few seconds.
So any understanding meets your definition of abuse by John Depp? No.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
She goes on to say that, anything that she saw Blair nails her, it was just what Amber told you. Yeah.
Yeah. You can play it if you want, but it's fine. You don't have to.
We're on the last
let's do this.
The last tweet here where I lose my shit. Amber recalls the time in which she dumped Johnny after you beat the shit out of me, and he says, I made a huge mistake, I won't do it again. Well, that's not exactly what happens.
No doubt, but you did not go, I fucked up and cry in my bedroom after I had dumped you a fucking week prior. A fucking week prior after you beat the shit out of me. And then a week later you show up at my doorstep in my room saying you want to say goodbye. Okay, say goodbye.
Oh, I said it?
Yes, you did say it. I'll go to the text messages so that we're clear on the tape.
Yes, because you'd said it before to me.
Okay. No doubt, but you did not say you're going to come over to say bye?
I mean, a huge mistake.
She sounds so drunk there.
You didn't say that to me?
The huge mistake is I said I was going to come over to say bye.
Yeah, not I made a huge mistake by beating the shit out of you.
He's saying
you're going to come over to say bye?
I made a huge mistake.
You didn't say that to me?
Yep.
You didn't say that to me?
Well,
there you go.
Do it again.
What's the mistake then? Did you or did you not say you're coming over to say bye?
She says it right there.
Go, I thought you didn't say that to me?
Well, I won't do it again.
What's the mistake then? Did you or did you not say you're coming over to say bye?
Ridiculous nonsense.
Go, I fucked up and cry in my bed.
Oh God.
This is more that metaphorical speech nonsense.
Yeah. And
you beat the shit out of me with your words when you said you was going to say bye. Oh, please. Just please.
So what was the mistake? That you came over to say bye? Is that what it is? And like,
I think this...
They're lying to you. They're lying to you.
I think this person is hoping that people coming through the thread don't actually
look into it. Yeah.
Or play the audio. This is ridiculous.
You didn't say that to me?
Well, I won't do it again.
What's the mistake then? Did you or did you not say you're coming over to say bye?
That's so ridiculous. It's right there.
Yeah. It's right there.
Oh man. We did it,
God.
homie.
We did it. We did it. God. Exhausting, but hey, we'll piece it together some way or another.
What else is new? It's all right. It's what we do.
No
you guys really like the long videos and the long podcasts. We really appreciate that because I actually like doing them this way.
Yeah, I think it deserves to be done this way. If you have a 30+ tweet thread and someone basically calling out the public that they've blocked out, saying but no one's got the, the guts to come tell me where I'm wrong.
Sure.
Okay. It deserves to have every little piece picked apart. And we're not just going to show you 5 seconds of this and 5 seconds of that and lie to you and tell you it's something it's not. We're just going to show you the whole thing and tell you to go find the whole thing.
Right. Right.
There you go. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate that everyone wants to dive this deep into it.
Oh, I do too. I mean, it obviously, like I said at the beginning, it took us a few days to pull all this stuff and get it all together, but here we are. And so I'm very, very thankful for y'all. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all of you. If you didn't see or notice this already, we have been able to get this channel monetized, which is really incredible. And both Brian and I really, really thank you for that, because it helps him at this time, since he can't get his channel monetized. We're sharing the revenue from this channel, which works out really great. And we're still hoping that he's going to be able to get his own channel monetized. And it's just everything will just be a great time after that.
Yeah, fingers crossed, but I appreciate it, guys. No matter what happens over there on that channel, I still plan on doing some stuff, and I'm going to keep doing stuff on this channel regardless. Content's always going to be there. Promise.
Yeah. So thank you once again, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on the audio podcast, we appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your patronage. We just appreciate all y'all and all of your support. And we will see ya in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.